Well, it's been about what two-ish months since this actually happened. But hello everybody. Welcome back to the PR podcast. We're going back in time a little bit. We are finally here with the playoff recap for season 10, aka Generation 3 draft. Playoffs happened a while ago, but due to life and being busy, this was delayed for a long time. As you can see by the runtime of this video, there is a lot to talk about. And unfortunately, I was very busy over these past few months, so I was not able to help out with it. However, Brian is a man who has a lot of passion for our league and has taken it upon himself to react and analyze each and every playoff set that happened. So Brian will be leading the charge through all of the sets that happened in playoffs. So most of this is going to be Brian talking. I will come back at the end, give a little team analysis on my team, and just a little wrap up of our season in general, give final thoughts and things like that. So anyway, strap in. You're in for a long journey. Timestamps will be in the description if you're looking for your specific matches, or if you want to get to the good stuff at the end. But either way, plenty to watch, plenty to enjoy. So have a great time, and I'll touch base at the end.
Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. B, and I am here with you today for the Gen 3 OU Season 10 Playoffs podcast, and that's right. We are finally back to this old school season. I figured that it was about time we started on this because, well, by we, I mean me, because it's such a long season, and it was such a long and honestly good playoffs that Matt wasn't going to find a lot of time to get this done. And we are almost at the end of season 11, so I decided to take a little secret here and do it myself. That being said, we have every single playoff game from that season, so get ready, get comfortable, and we're going to start off. So for those who don't remember, 10 teams made playoffs, and we have, starting off with round 1, we're going to go through winners, and then eventually we'll walk down to losers, back to winners in order of kind of how the bracket would naturally flow. And right off the bat here, we have THT versus Bannon, two newcomers, especially into Gen 3. I believe neither of them have played with us before, so kind of fun they matched up. And we'll just start off. So we have the Chief, Registeel, starting off versus Omastar. Personally, two support mons, both looking to get either hazards or status up, right? Omastar lead doesn't usually imply Swift Swim variants yet. But Chris feeling pretty fun and going right into DD Gyarados. This is a draft league, by the way, so that's why you'll start seeing some strange mons and decisions. But everyone, had one team they could pick for playoffs, and both of these guys have picked some pretty good teams, knowing that they'd be fighting each other around 1. And Gary taking a huge Psychic, but luckily having Giga Drain to actually kind of save himself versus this Slowbro. So good pick by Chris there, like that. Ooh, and a great Sleep Powder play there. I forgot about that. And we see Typhlosion completely out of it, so Bannon going into its best special wall. Honkshu Me ×3. Big fan of that name. But Chris scouting for Shadow Ball, very smart. And then Thunder waving the slowest thing in the game. We love that. You gotta do something to deal with Snorlax. In Gen 3, he's really a menace. And I'm not entirely sure that Seismic Toss T-Wave is the answer, so you better get out of here if he doesn't want to instantly lose to this. But no, he's still going for it. Looking to get a little lucky with Paralysis. And now that we see Snorlax probably doesn't carry Earthquake, we can assume that it's a rest variant. That's just how Bannon liked to play throughout the season. Chris in a great spot here. Like, he is technically winning this if he forces a sleep, but he's got to have something in the back to deal with this. Yeah. Max HP Snorlax now. He's still just tossing, though. So two big dudes being dudes, just hanging out. If I'm being completely honest, I don't entirely know what Chris's game plan is here. He does have Explosion. I didn't, I do remember some of these teams from 3 months ago. And he's still just willing to, like, put Ben into a rest state, which, like, it's a shame that Ben didn't get this a little bit later in the match, because I feel like he would have gone crazy. But Gary comes in just surviving the 2 spikes. Maybe has Leech Seed, and there we go. That's getting all your health back. Well, honestly, not as much as I would have imagined from Big Snorlax, but he goes back to Registeel. Yeah, gets, knows when he's going to wake up. Only takes 35. Luckily, it was not crit there, else he might have just lost the game. And really just content with Paraspam plus Leech Seed recovery, which honestly I don't hate if you don't have a better way to get rid of this, especially at this point when it's this far set up. You can tell that there's probably no phaser on this team. And Ben, on the other hand, just, getting the good return roll there. Forcing Chris to lose his best Snorlax answer. Probably is forced to rest this turn. Oh, especially with the crit. I hope he went for it. Oh, but he hit return, and it doesn't kill. Oh, that's just unfortunate luck for Bannon. I think a rest there might have just won. Maybe he got low rolled on return as well. It's a tough say. But Thunderbolt comes for the Quickster. And Chris brings in Blaziken, an interesting draft pick here. He does have his Fire, Water, Grass core going, and we see that it is not going to be able to kill Zapdos in one hit. Ooh, decides to sack his Gary to keep his Blaziken alive. Okay. And Gary the Venusaur, of course, for those who may just be listening. But Mermaid Man comes in and is honestly in a pretty good position here. If I take a quick pause, everything's pretty slow, asleep, low HP. The only thing that really stands in the way is that Omastar, and he is paralyzed. But now, so is T-Tar, turns out. But we see a Gen 3 Classic, which is DD Lum T-Tar. Love that. And here comes Rock Slide number 1, and you have to hope that whatever's in the back there can handle it. And we do see Omastar come in, a great decision. If it can live the Earthquake, easily, no problem. And he gets paralyzed. So right there, Bannon's way out is gone, and it looks like T-Tar DD sweep yet again. That's kind of a shame, too, because I think there's pretty good potential here that Chris loses this game if that, whatever hits there, if it was Pump or Surf. I mean, if Surf kills, that is, of course. You never really know. It is the biggest, strongest dude in the game right here. And everyone's just going to die to sand. Bannon going to pray for that turn 1 wake up, but it's not going to matter because he is slower. And Chris with a great game 1. So just a good way of showing off the power of T-Tar in playoffs. A lot of times gets countered for, but now everyone, not everyone can bring their best T-Tar answer here. So let's see what happens in game 2. And obviously, you're locked into the same leads in this format, unlike our newer, Gen 9 format. So this time Ben hits Surf, which is interesting. Doesn't really do a whole lot. I kind of would have liked the Spike play if he was willing to get paralyzed anyways. But we do see Sub Typhlosion coming in early now. Just looks like he's getting ready for a Berry proc on the Heatmeister, but decides that he doesn't really want to do it yet. Potentially is saving it for a Stealth Rock switch in later, which, I get it. I like it. It's not how I would do it personally, but, I mean, it's worked for him many times in the past. And speaking of working, we see Rock Slide missing Zapdos, and also Hidden Power. Oh, but it crits! I was about to say it's not going to get the 2-shot, but I was mistaken. Not entirely sure what that HP is. It's probably not HP Fighting, so we're going to assume HP Grass or HP Water. We're going to assume HP Grass probably because, Swampert's in bracket somewhere. We do see Leech Seed and Sleep Powder, which does work on grass types in Gen 3, which is really, really brutal for Bannon's team. Right now, he's got a dude that's paralyzed, a dude that's asleep, and now it's just dead. Oh my gosh, that Venusaur is going crazy. Not a whole lot of answers on Bannon's team. He could get Typhlosion in, probably a decent enough play, because Leech Seed's going to come in here and get a lot of health back. The combination of that and Giga Drain on this Slowbro. Did we see Psychic doing about 50 again? Yeah. I mean, oh my god, that's too much. That's too much. Like, now you just have to sack this, but he goes into Slow King. A good play by Chris. Saves his Venusaur for later. And gets his health back with lefties, so he's sitting at a pretty good percent. Zapdos looking fine, looking really good, but the exception is this Registeel, who gets paralyzed for his troubles at least. I like Chris's play here. He's playing it nice and safe. You're able to T-Wave Electric types in Gen 3 as well, just in case anybody did not know that. And it goes through Volt Absorb. We might be seeing that later. And Ben, I think assuming that Chris would leave, although he has no real reason to, Zapdos is not particularly great in the Registeel. We'll see. Does it have Roost? No, it has. It doesn't even have Roost, I don't think, but it has Roar. It gets him out, and unfortunately for Ben, brings in something that kind of just takes out the Zapdos easy peasy. So if I'm Ben here, I'm looking for a way to... well, that's not the way, unfortunately, but you got to get that Typhlosion to basically sweep at the end here. And Chris showing off what looks to be physical Blaziken with sub, which is kind of neat. Maybe it's still mixed. I've only seen 2 moves. But he does hit both the Sky Uppercuts. I didn't really realize that Ben got a little unfortunate Paraluck in this game 1. And we do see the sub come in, which is good. If the Rock Slide missed, would have been great. Yes, we do see Rock Slide and Sky Uppercuts. Definitely physical. And there it is. We see the Pataya Berry with Flamethrower, which doesn't even kill. Wow. And he gets another turn of it, but this Sand's just gonna chip him away, So we get a little more Blaze boosting. Venusaur comes in, looks to probably just pivot out the Slowking this turn, force a Flamethrower, what's he gonna do? Not hit it? Coverage move probably isn't even better, but we do see the end game threat here. We see the guy that was practically impossible to deal with early on, but now Chris has a Gyarados in an okay position, only taking about 30 from those returns. So gets the Intimidate, which I like. I like that. And now has a choice between Sleep Powder and Leech Seed this turn. I think personally I'd go for the Leech Seed first, just because it hasn't really boosted enough yet. Better accuracy, there you go. Yeah, he does do the Leech Seed. And that's a lot of HP coming in. He'll never be able to stop that from happening. The Sleep Powder comes in. Chris doing a good job keeping his Venusaur and Gyarados alive for this thing later on. So pretty smart by him. And I don't particularly see Ben getting out of this, so I'm going to put the game on fast just due to how many replays we have today. So it's really just an uphill losing battle at this point. He'll run out of something, whether it's HP or rests first. Who's to say? We do see him go for the rest. Still willing to, there's a lot of paralysis on Chris's team. And there's nothing that really, Blaziken's dead. Nothing really hits it too hard yet. Has to wait for Gyarados to probably set up a little bit. But it's, the writing is on the wall for this game, and I do want to shout out Chris's pretty solid game 1 game plan here. He really locked it in, knew what he was doing, never really felt like he was on the back foot at all. And that's just the power of T-Tar. And I know Ben's team has a little bit of trouble with T-Tar. You can look at that team right there, and if there's HP bug on that T-Tar or even just like a good dark move, the only thing that really stops it kind of explodes to that. So I want to put on Hyper Fast now just to get Registeel and Snorlax to do their moves a little bit faster. There's a lot of residual damage happening here. And we do see what looks to be Registeel winning this. Nope, and still making it work for it. I respect the honesty here. And Chris really could have just gone into Gyarados at this point. He can just go into something that hits a little bit harder. It's not like... Or it's maybe Slowking, I don't know. He can go for Waterfall flinches or something. Let's see, does this game get over 55 turns? Take the over-under now, chat. Oh, there he goes. He was just looking for the Explosion build. There we go. So we do see Explosion, little information for future games. But yeah, no, it was a good set. Set 1 goes to Chris. We are moving on to the other side of winners round 1, and we see Adam versus Drew, Poppy Noodle versus Atomic Boo. And this is the one Skarmory team versus the, I don't really know how to describe it, but the everything must go team. Very, very offensive, full of big physical threats. So on paper, Adam's team looks a little favored, but lead Machamp, Drew out here thinking it's Gen 4. Sometimes you got too many wall breakers, the team will fall. We see Machamp get yawned here and miss across chops, so that's a pretty nice turn for Adam. Guaranteed, gets to leave, goes to Skarm, which Tentacle comes in on. Can't really do anything in Gen 3, but 37 is actually pretty respectable. Maybe I should stop. Respect that mod a little more. We do see 2 layers of spikes go up. Let's see, does Adam decide to stay in? He does, gets a Surf off, or protects himself from the Surf. Pretty good. And then goes into Regice, having the famous Skarmory Regice combo of season 10 it was? Yeah, season 10. Oh, and that crit on Thunderbolt definitely mattered from Water Ice, which is an awful nickname. I hate it, but good job, Adam. And Skarmory does not survive that cross chop. Does not very specially defensive in Gen 3 usually, and so you can definitely see why Machamp is pretty decent into it actually. Really just going for yawn plays, but it looks like this Machamp, not even banded to 46, kind of a menace. Metagross comes in, takes 2 layers of spikes, plus a surf down to 50 already, and that's likely banded. So that's, stays in, does another 30, is faster. That's kind of crazy to see Blastoise be faster than Metagross, guys. You do not see that every single day. But we see Electabuzz coming in. Out of a pretty good position here. I mean, he doesn't really have a lot for Electabuzz just because of this thing being toxic later on. But Drew goes for... Oh my god, he goes for Cross Chop, gets the crit. He was going for T-Wave earlier to catch the Jolteon switch in, which, Adam's been dealing with that all season, and good for him for not doing it immediately and getting his Jolteon bodied. But we do see Regice down, and we see the second giant Titan of Gen 3 come in with Regirock here. Drew willing to just T-Wave it and hope that he gets paralyzed, but does not. Looks like Machamp's coming back in. Great position for him, honestly. There are no ghosts on Adam's team. At least we don't know that yet, but we can assume that Banette is not here. We see Regirock doesn't have lefties, implying that maybe it's banded with that Earthquake damage. Jolteon should clean this up, but does not clean it up and dies to Earthquake. Machamp, my friend to all, and we see Houndoom in the back. And Houndoom's going to have to do a lot of work here because Blastoise isn't particularly going to do great into... Well, it'll do great into this, but it's only at 32, so we'll see. Does it have Earthquake? We do see the Earthquake on Typhlosion here. We see a very fun interaction here where we see Typhlosion is just above his Blaze range, just above any berry range as well, and no items. So we do find out that it's Endure Typhlosion, which is awesome. I love this tech. Knowing that you're pretty much guaranteed to run into Dugtrio at some point in bracket, having your slower than Dugtrio mons that can get trapped and killed by Earthquake, having a Slack Endure, I'm always going to be a fan of that. And we see it here actually work out for Drew, where he gets the call out on Houndoom. Adam doesn't know the tech yet that it's there, and sweeps the end of the game there. So. What could have been an Adam win, because I assume what's in the back here probably isn't any better versus, Houndoom. Turns out to be a Drew sweep, so a very fun game one from those two. Very honest, if I'm being completely fair with it. Just a nice, honest gameplay. Jolteon leads, Baton passes right into Skarmory. We do see Cross Chop doing about 40 after lefties. And I like Drew going for the switch immediately, because whether he's spiked or protected, you get that momentum. And calls out the Regirock switch in with an Earthquake that does 19. That's a baller call out. I love that. And kind of a shame that that Adam missed his Rock Slide on that Mence there, because the Clear Body blocking the slide, probably just thought he was going to lock into Earthquake, but Rock Slide's just as good versus Typhlosion. And a second missed Cross Chop. And the critical Rock Slide. Oh, that's brutal. Adam getting a little comeuppance after game one. And we see Regirock, does he clean up Machamp? He does not, but a layer of spikes will later after this, so goes into Blastoise, wants to save his Regirock. We'll see if Drew's just willing to let Machamp die here, and we see that it is also slower than Blastoise, which is probably a little more common than the Metagross numbers we saw earlier. And Skarmory comes in, takes 34 from a Surf, so unless he gets a really high roll here, won't be able to, he can live another one for free. Drew doing a great job scouting out these protects. I kind of love that. Because everyone's always telling Adam to protect more, but now he hasn't gotten a layer of spike up because all he's done is protect twice and fail. So it is a little unfortunate in that regard. We do see another Cross Chop miss, and that is the downside of going for it. And we'll see you later, Electabuzz. You paralyzed Regice and dealt 30. But the big boys here, Metagross coming in, hitting Meteor Mash, doing 33. If he gets the attack boost there, that could have meant a lot. But considering that he didn't, Drew just goes Tentacruel. That's fine, but it'd be really funny if Adam just cycled another Yawn there. Does not, decides to go Regice. And a bad matchup here. Oh, he stays in. I don't know about that one. I think you're pretty safe going into Skarmory pretty much always against Banded Metagross. Or maybe not even Skarmory, maybe just Blastoise, right? You still have high HP. No, not really. No. I would have liked Skarmory, though. And we see Tentacruel's Toxic miss, so Adam in a absolutely fantastic position to get a spike up finally. He could protect this turn. I think it's worth, yeah. Because Drew's going to try and spin, and if he tries to spin away the spike, you just keep going with it. So good play by Adam. Goes to Blastoise, though, to eat the serve. Blastoise getting dangerously low. If the Slack Berry does proc, the walls are all kind of down. You see Tentacruel doing its thing where it hits Toxic again. Here comes Metagross coming in on Skarmory, so we're going to finally see the Fabled interaction here. Adam gets a free Protect. Yep, because Drew does want to... I believe Drew wants to try and get this kill. I mean, I think all of us would. But after seeing that, goes right to Tentacruel, interestingly enough. Still wants to spin away these spikes at some point. But now, look how much HP recovery Skarmory has. I don't know about that Tentacruel switch this early. Does get the spin. You know, 2 spikes down. We appreciate that. Ooh, but went for Roar instead of another spike. You always got to keep spiking versus Tentacruel if you want to get that momentum going. We do see a crit on Regirock there. I don't think that mattered. Even if it did, you just get, you know, you hit by Earthquake next turn. You don't know how to switch him. Wish Jolteon, though, in Gen 3 as a lead pick. I love that. I actually really like that. Adam's team desperately needs a good Wish, and we see here in Gen 3 it does recover 50% of the recipient's HP, I think. I don't think the Blissey HP change came until Gen 4, but, you know, you can quote me on that in the comments if I'm wrong. And Blastoise, you know, actually, I really do like Blastoise being the recipient of it if he wasn't toxic. I might have attempted to get Skarmory that Wish Pass instead, as crazy as it sounds. But you see Drew willing to let his Tentacruel go to sleep so he doesn't have to deal with yawn pressure anymore, which, like, I get. Goes right into Metagross, and we see Jolteon. So Metagross in a great position to throw off probably any move that's not Earthquake here. And we do see Meteor Mash come out. And oh my god, that crit mattered. 52%. Finally, he hits his Meteor Mash. Everybody partied and was happy. And Fire Blast Houndoom here doing... Yeah, you see, maybe looking at it more, maybe Tentacruel shouldn't have gone to bed. HBI's Houndoom's going to kind of goob Mence, which you can assume is on its set, knowing that, you know, you'd be fighting the Salamence round 1. You see Typhlosion only take a little over 50. Oh, but the crit, never mind. That was very good luck. So we saw bad luck earlier in the set with Cross Chops, but didn't quite realize how good the later luck was. Good read by Adam here to stall out the Endure and get the Wish. Like, absolutely perfect gameplay there. We love that. Very smart. But then, I don't know. I think he needed that Jolteon for later. I think it's such a tough call, right? Like, you can't Wish that turn. You have to go for the T-Bolt, I think, and just hope you paralyze. Or crit or something, because that Blastoise isn't getting the Wish until the turn after, and he'll just die. So, good play by Drew there at the end with Metagross. And Adam actually played it pretty well. I got to give him a little bit of credit with the way he handled his Jolteon both games. It's just a shame that it kind of was like in the back for a lot of it. Never had the immediate power to like one-shot anything on the field. So like if you wanted to keep it alive, you kind of needed to save it. A little unfortunate trade-off, but it was a good set by both players. We'll move on. All right, so starting off, we got 4 round 2 sets here. Because, you know, 10 people started, so now we're up into the second round of winners. Starting off with me versus Chris, so we're going to go see that T-Tar team again, and I start off with my Jirachi lead. Mainly because I think Jirachi lead's pretty cool on my team. It's a very defensive team, so we're going to see a lot of wasted time here. We see Clefable come in with Magic Guard, so... or actually, no, it's not even Magic Guard yet, it's Cute Charm, so that was my playoff draft pick up before the set, just to get a little bit of... I mean, it probably wasn't that good at the end of the day, but I like it. It's cute. It's, you know, I got my Yu-Gi-Oh! Themed team here. Chris has got his sayings and gimmicks team over there, but we do see very bad luck coming out from this Blaziken getting paralyzed. I know it has Skybrica. I'm really physically defensive, so I don't really care about it. And we get the Infatuation. So just a lot of hacks going on here. Infatuation, I get paralyzed. He gets paralyzed. He goes to the Quickster. We're getting PNG recoveries. Getting PNG everything's really. Right now, I'm pretty content with just spamming Thunder Wave onto his team a lot. I think every single one of his dudes is paralyzed. And no, not the Chief. The Chief knows better. And that Skybricut doing 78 was, I think I forgot that. I think I forgot just how much difference the Intimidate made that turn 1. So we do see Chris go for a good Rock Slide here. The leftovers Mence is gonna kind of shrug that off. So I go for an Earthquake, try to call out, I believe I tried to call out Registeel there. And Chris in a great spot, but the Dark Magician comes in, takes the Surf like nothing. And I believe I don't know what I was doing there, but I go for Ice Beam and get Toxic for my trouble. So my team is like in a little bit of status pain too. we're both kind of, shifting around the passive damage so much, and the sand hasn't even hit the field yet to make my life worse. So we'll see what happens here. So after seeing that this is not really not really too dangerous of a slow king, I go into Jirachi, and he's scared of a T-Bolt. He doesn't know what my moveset is yet. It does have T-Bolt. He's smart. And I get a really lucky 20% Thunderbolt there, so now that T-Tar doesn't have his Lumberry, I'm able to potentially status it later. And I do sack Karibo here. I knew he was going to DD anyways, but I figured if he tried to DD twice, that's when I lost. If he DD'd once, I'd be fine. So we see Dark Magician Girl come in here with Gorbis, and I get rid of the sand just to get the speed up later. So Dark Magician comes in, is immune to Leech Seed. We see Ludicolo just sitting here, nice and blue, and Ice Beam does only 40 to Gary, and that's not good, because it does have Sludge Bomb, and that is not enough damage. So Chris's team looking really, really strong here, so I have to go Jirachi, and he could have probably, if he called me out there with a Sleep Powder, I probably lost that turn, but he didn't. I feel lucky. But now I got Steelix in the back. With the pretty good Iron Tail numbers here, get a really lucky crit, both the fact that it hit and that it crit. And Venusaur comes back out, which I actually believe, it was a good double there for me into Salamence. I show off that I have HP flying after all. Definitely strong enough to kill Venusaur. It's tough to say, early game Ments with the playoff bracket. Is it going to be special? Is it going to be physical? What's it going to do exactly? The fact that it's physical meant that Chris was in a tougher time, and a few people later in the line might be in for a better time. So unfortunately for me, he missed the Leech Seed, but he got paralyzed turn before, so same. Pretends about the same, but I should be able to get just enough HP. No, I don't. I died of the Toxic. But I do have a paralyzed Slowking on the field who's forced to switch. And I T-Bolt Registeel. And honestly, Registeel's looking like a huge problem right now. I don't want this thing to play the game too much. I also believe that when I went into this match, just because out of fairness for all the round 2 players, we knew who our opponent would be round 2, but we did not know what their teams were until we had played. So I did not know any of Chris's sets coming in this. I did not know that his, what had what moves and whatnot from game 1, just to keep it fair. And that's the case for all 4 of the sets that you'll be seeing in this upcoming week, or this set of matches. So the sand finally comes back up. I don't really think I have a good way of stopping. T-Tar here. If I think my Steelix, if it gets crit, I'm in a bad spot. But luckily, Salamence is at full HP with an Intimidate drop, so we should be able to get a pretty safe Dragon Dance here if I want it. Still don't think, still trying to, play around Ice Beams at the moment. T-Bolt too, could be pretty dangerous. So we get Dark Magician Girl here with, we knew the Ice Beam was coming. No matter what this Slow King does, it doesn't have, it probably doesn't have Calm Mind. If it does, he's crazy. I mean, he could, I don't know, maybe he could still have it. Still fine move. But we get Surf, we get the biggest defensive threat to Salamence off the field. There's still a lot of monsters left that can deal with it, though, like the Chief here, who I'm willing to just break down at this point. I don't know it has rest or anything, but I got it down to a good enough damage number that if Mence comes in, I could probably drop an Earthquake on it and kill it. But let's see what I do here. Do I just go for the Dragon Dance? No, I play it safe, go for the Earthquake. And Salamence does get the Intimidate drop, which is really big, except I don't think I care about Gyarados being on the field, because even if he does the dance with me, which he proves he does have Dragon Dance, I'm still faster. So I can drop the Rock Slide here and deal, easily guaranteed a KO on that one. And now Reggie still gets a little more lefties, I believe, and that's a problem. Earthquake might not kill here. So he plays it safe, sacks his Blaziken, so he can get a little more lefties, which, hey, I like that play. Blaziken wasn't doing anything unless it had a fire move for Jirachi. And there we go. We see the leftovers recovery mattered. Chris playing it really smart and getting my Mets paralyzed here, looking for a really clean Tyranitar sweep at the end. But I actually sub out here when he explodes because I wanted to save the Intimidate for later. And honestly, that's funny because, you expect the explosion over the rest. And we get the lucky para here on 60% on T-Tar. So right now, there's been a lot of good luck going my way. I got the Intimidate, the Earthquakes. So this was a really close game 1. And I really am glad that that Jirachi's a broken mon. And I'm cycling Intimidates. I know he has to choose between Rock Slide, DD, and Earthquake. So no matter what, he's going to get paralyzed on one of them, and I'll be in a better position. So even here, that Rock Slide doing 94 is still really good, right? But I get a Jirachi. Sand actually kills me, which is kind of good. I get Jirachi in to get a guaranteed Thunderbolt hit here. And we just barely clean up Chris. So we're really, really close and strong game 1 from both of us. We'll go to game 2, though, because this is a long set. Thanks to just the way the teams were built, Not a lot of breaking power early on. I don't want my Jirachi paralyzed, so I go right to my Steelix. He makes a good call, goes for toss anyways. And I double into Jirachi here. He's probably just going to go to bed. Now he misses. That's bad luck on his end. I don't get the 60% para, so I fish for it again. And there we go. We got it. So we'll trade off statuses here. I'll take the bed. He'll take the para. I'm just going to stall out some sleep turns. He's looking for a leech seed for sure. Which at the moment isn't the biggest of deals. Like, I'm just, I obviously can't go to the Colo, so something's going to go, get seeded. And we do see Slowking and Clefable hit the field, so back to Jirachi I go, just to take a status away, burn a sleep turn. And Chris gets to stand up early, decides now's the time. I get a nice wake up turn, get the paralysis. Yep, so his Lumberry's gone, so that's one chance of beating T-Tar down. We do like to see that. And the Earthquake only doing 28 to Clefable, which, kind of cool. This little Yuyumon, maybe it can do something today. So we go for T-Wave. Chris actually makes a good play, goes into Venusaur. So I get nothing that turn. And I'm going to start tossing, and he's going to start seeding. So it's a losing match for me. I know that Venusaur is a huge problem now. I need to find a way to hit that with HP Flying again, because I don't think anything else can. But I get the Encore here, which is nice. So he's locked in the Leech Seed, meaning I can go into a guaranteed Ludicolo, or I can just soft boil this turn anyways on whatever he switches in. So, get this Clefable healthier for next time. And there comes the Blaziken. I get a T-Wave off on it, so I'm really happy with this with these turns. I know I'm giving away my health for status, but I'll need it for later. So drop the attack. He gets unfortunate para there. I'm just gonna probably slam Earthquake here just to get some chip on anything that's not Gyarados. Yeah, because Gyarados again not threatening. So good Earthquake on everybody here. Slowking comes in, eats an HP Flying, does, we check the damage number there in the sand, that's a 3-hit. But it's not pretty, so we're leaving. We're coming back later to do more damage. He's safely Ice Beam. Does he get the freeze? Does not get the freeze. And that Ice Beam effectively means he has done nothing that turn to Jirachi. And I believe I can get a really nice Wish here. Yeah, so now you find out this is actually Wish Jirachi, which is a problem. If we make this a long game, I don't know, man, we could be here for hours. But we won't be, because we're fun players, and we like to hit damaging moves, probably. So once again, Chris gets off the Leech Seed, and that's going to do a lot of recovery. He's at 41, but the Sand Chip, or 47 now, but the Sand Chip is nice. So we both pivot out to our Water types, which is kind of funny that I brought in the Water type on Venusaur there. Kind of risky. And once again, I know this Slowking cannot touch Jirachi, so I'm keeping this thing healthy. I'm going to probably get another Wish Pass here. Yep. Which, I think now's a pretty good time to go Ludicolo, but I still go Clefable. I think I'm still just trying to make sure he doesn't Sludge Bomb me to death. But I don't know. I probably should have gone Ludicolo there. It's not the most important one. It's nice to have Leech Seed later versus Registeel if it comes down to it, but that's a long time away probably. Anyways, I finally get put to bed here, and I think actually that's probably why I was going Clefable this whole time. Was just to get something sacked to sleep that wasn't something better. It's a decent strategy when you're playing older gens. It's just having that Mon when you see the enemy team, knowing which Mon's the sleep sack. Let it go. We get the Wish Pass off to Steelix here, who now is right back in fighting form, which is really important for both T-Tar and Gyarados and Registeel, so really important to have this guy. Chris does a great switch into Gyarados, though, dropping my attack stat, making me pretty useless here if I don't have Toxic, which I don't believe I do. And he goes for Dragon Dance, so no sub, no taunt, just straight up dances. Which I like. And I know that Gyarados can't run good coverage versus Ments, so I get to hit him. But he stays in and hits HP Flying and does way too much damage, since I thought he'd switch out due to Rock Slide. Turns out I now have Ments in a pretty dangerous position, and he plays it safe, goes for HP Flying again. So good for Chris there, but decides he doesn't want to play the Earthquake range here, especially with T-Bolt coming out. And once again, Gary is stonewalling my entire team. It's turn 36, and I haven't been able to even crack any of his dudes yet. So we go into Salamence here, actually, to take the Giga Drain. Sludge Bomb could have been pretty dangerous if he was willing to call me out there, but we do get all that HP back, so my team is also now sitting a little pretty, you know. Most guys sitting above 80% or better. Chris's team is starting to crack a little bit. Like, there's cracks in the armor, and that's why I'm pretty confident what I'm doing. Chris finally goes for a Surf on just to get better damage on Jirachi, pretty much locking me into a Wish here if I want to be, you know, safe. So I go for it. T-Star comes in, and I hope he just goes for a damage move, because if he sets up, I don't... you see, I'm hoping for the damage move for the recovery, but also I know that this setup's a wasted turn, too. So it really is a net neutral, right? We Surf on Venusaur, see it do about 20. I believe there's Ice Beam on the Scorbus. Let's see, does it kill? And it does, yes. I was feeling pretty confident in that number, so we sense it. I have no idea if it was guaranteed back then or not. And with Venusaur out of the way, this match is about to get a lot faster, right? He can't do anything to me, like recovery-wise, so his team is just going to start, you know, getting chipped away by the sand. Doesn't have a good water resist that, you know, really wants to take too many hits. Thank you. You know, Gyarados only being at 50 means it will just start getting slammed. So I'm pretty happy just hitting Dark Magician Girl's Surf here. He puts me into my Pataya range secretly that I've been hiding this whole time. It's not meant for him, it's meant for somebody later, but, you know, we'll take the boosted damage now. And getting Registeel down to 16 is huge, because he can either rest and take even more damage, which I can do about, you know, 45, 55 with that Surf, so really cool. There is Rain Dance on the Scorbus, so we do set it up this turn, because Chris is still just, you know, willing to thinking he can stay in and take the hits. I don't get paralyzed, which is nice, but I also don't kill him. So he does get the, you know, thanks to the paralysis being a really, really big speed drop in older gens, he does get to go first still, even though I'm a Swift Swim Gorbis in the rain. My second abuser of the rain comes in, Ludicolo. The Dark Magician Girl does summon the Dark Magician. And we do get the cleanup on Registeel. So both of his guys that have recovery are gone. This match should not last too much longer. Somebody's going to win it one way or the other. He can't wall me out anymore. I missed the 60% body slam on Tyranitar, which is something you have to fish for here. You absolutely have to fish for this. And I do get it on turn 2, meaning that while he will probably kill something, and at the moment, yeah, if that was an Earthquake there, I think Steelix does get 2-shot, but he does get paralyzed. Thank you, paralysis. Yeah, just barely. Oh, it's still not a 2-shot. Wow. So I would have been a guaranteed Earthquake off at least, which would have been nice. But Chris realizing he had to sack that at 3%, and the Quickster comes in. So I boom it because I actually have calced my Steelix to be a little bit faster than Slowking, so getting the big waters off the field was nice. I've done that a few times with that interaction, specifically with Slowking and Steelix. I think it's fun. They're really not that far apart. And we do see Fire Blast come out from Blaziken, which scared me because it crit me. And if it burned, then that would have been really wild. But HP Flying does clean up. And this Gyarados won't be able to set up fast enough for, you know, max HP Jirachi to just, you know, clean up with a T-Ball. Because if he stays in, he gets Rock Slide, right? 49%. He tries a DD, but the Sand's going to actually finish the job for me here. So a fun game, too. You see how much faster it went when I was finally able to remove the 2 walls. So hopefully the rest of the sets in this are a little bit faster than that, and I assure you they will be. But a really fantastic job by Chris. I cannot give him enough credit for building a team for Ben and still holding up that well against me. So it was a good play. All right, so we're on to set 2. This was also on winner's side. This is JT versus Corey. The 4-5 seeds, which honestly were a little underseeded, but the fact they had to play each other round 1 was really crazy because these teams are very unique. And by that, I mean, did you see the double Hariyama lead? Because it's totally here. We're going to find out what each player is. So right now we see Knockoff and we see Cross Chop. So Corey going for more damage-oriented, and both Cross Chops doing about the same. So they look to be the same Hariyamas on the, you know, right off the bat, but they're actually not. We'll find out later. Really cool tech on Corey's side, and JT keeping it simple. I respect that, but staying in versus Celebi is a little too simple. You got to get out. Like you can't expect no psychic move on it early game. So we do see SD Scizor, JT really liking his usage of Baton Pass in this early meta. And we do see the Whirlwind come out here, so great play just to ignore those last few turns by Corey. And a huge crit on Swampert there actually really matters. So Hariyama kind of just decimated half a team. Oyumon, perhaps? And we do see Roar here, you know, JT just willing to sack his Swampert at this point to find out what's here. We see the number 1 mon on JT's team, Aerodactyl, come in and miss a Rock Slide, which is really, really unfortunate because that is not resisted by Kabutops. Or by Omastar. And we do see the 2 fossils now going at it. Another SD mon by Triple's only water type, which just dies. A really interesting pre-preemptive decision to sub out his only water resist for Kabutops, which means there are no water resists. But we do see Arcanine attempting to use sub here, thinking that he would scare Omastar with HP Grass, which is a pretty smart play, but there is a Dragonite in the back, and it doesn't really care what Arcanine can do to it if it's HP Grass, because now there's no HP Ice. And we see calling out what I guess is an Aerodactyl switch with that Thunder. I don't really know. Here comes Scizor to take the, to get Dragon Danced on. Now, unless this Scizor has like HP Rock, it's not going to be in a great spot. And we do see it does have HP Rock, and it doesn't really matter. Dragonite is kind of a beast. Should be faster than Aerodactyl. No, it's not. Oh my gosh. Okay, well now that Aerodactyl's locked into Double Edge, we see the second water type on Corey's team come in and just kind of win the game here. So JT's lack of a water resist is kind of rough this matchup. Like, he's got a lot of cool tech here, like this Arcanine with sub-E speed, and just in general, you'll see later some of the tech. Like, the HP Rock Scissor is always nice to see, but just nothing to take on pretty much an exactly standard Corey team right now. Like, this Hariyama's very heat, and I really do like what it brings to the table later. But right now, you're seeing what looks to be pretty standard. His best 6 are hitting the field. We can assume in the back is Doug Trio. So, we're going to game 2. Once again, we got 2 cross chops here. Nope, this time Triple goes for the damage, and Hariyama now, maybe he gets lucky. Maybe hits a second cross chop, goes for it again, does get the hit, but Celebi comes in, and unfortunately he's not getting knocked off, so items on Corey's side, still very nice. And we see something huge here, so I do remember this interaction. We see Psychic Celebi doing about 9%, and we don't know the rest of its moveset yet. I think we saw Leech Seed, so we can assume it's a Leech Seed 3 attack set, right? But because of the Spadef drop, this specially defensive Scizor just dies to HP Fire. And it maybe even had, like, it could have even been a range, but losing your best setup, your best setup passer at this point to Celebi on turn 3 just because of the Spadef drop stinks. But you also got to switch that out when you see it. You got to come back later to deal with it. So very unfortunate by JT there to lose his Scizor this early. And once again, we just see items being removed back and forth. Pretty strong pump, actually. Pump Swampert's a fun thing we don't see too often anymore, at least, I feel like. People are afraid of missing. And we see Hariyama taking about 30. Oh, and then here comes the Wish, yeah. Does prove it has Baton Pass, which is nice. So it allows Corey to actually go into Celebi after realizing that JT didn't switch out. And just has to lose his Hariyama here. So once again, really not getting momentum. Has to go to Arcanine. I'd even double here if I was JT, but he subs, so gets some momentum versus Hariyama. And we're gonna see a Fire Blast here, and it's gonna kill. Except it's not, because we find out that this is a thick, fat Hariyama, and that never would have killed no matter what on that calculation here. So good job by Corey making a really, really good use of his defensive core there. And once again, Arcanine comes back in to eat a Giga Drain, and it's 61. It's not enough. He'll have to leave. We see HP Grass coming in for Omastar, but now, I don't know. There's just so much problems with this Dragonite. And we see what looks to be HP Flying. So Swampert can hit Ice Beam here pretty safely, which he does. JT's got to hope for a freeze, otherwise it's kind of JT over. Roar's in, Doug Trio. You do not want to see that guy. Oh no. That is a guaranteed death for Swampert, and that's effectively the game loss. Unless Aerodactyl can do something. He makes a great call out with Earthquake, but now is kind of forced to switch out due to Dragonite. Let's see if Corey plays around it. Oh my god, Corey's so smart. He just stays in and surfs anyways. Great reads by Corey there. No fear on his part. He was willing to sack his Kabutops there, and his Omastar there. And JT's down to what now is a +2/+1. Kabutops has a Select Berry. Does not kill with Rock Slide. That is very sad. So Aerodactyl forced to lock into a move. It's Rock Slide. It misses and dies. So yeah, really, really tough showing from JT. They're kind of showing off the power of Corey's team. It's good. But also the power of a water resist. Just not having one versus this team is just not, it's never going to go well. But, I think JT's team is pretty good. This Kabutops actually can go really hard against certain teams. That's a good... It's a set that can work. And Aerodactyl, he had a really rough set this set. Like, no, nothing considered. He never hit the field and did anything. Like, he got red. He missed his rock slides. Like, my man was never coming in. Maybe he just needs to come in earlier in future sets, which, we'll find out if it happens. So, great job by Corey. Moving on. We'll go to the other side of bracket where we now see Crispy Will fighting off versus Atomic Boo in what seems to be, I believe, the 2 and 7 seeds here. We do see Mr. Bro lead, which is really, really rare. And Drew kind of going from his one Psychic Weakmon to the other is not a play I would have expected. I would have maybe gone into Metagross or something. I don't know, just scouting out what comes out. But gets a Toxic for his troubles here, so that's nice. E-Buzz comes in and does a lot of damage, actually. Doesn't even get two-shot by Slowbro. Like, what is this little electric guy? Will just wanted to sack Mr. Bro at this point. Probably doesn't have a good electric resist. Gets a very free Aerodactyl here. But Salamence comes in, gives a good Intimidate. Let's see what he locks into. Locks in a Double Edge, does about 40. And we know that this is a DD Mence, so it's definitely DD Lum. Not that there's no leftovers. And now we see really cool Nidoking here with Earthquake, but Metagross just trading off with the better Earthquake. So this is just damage. We're on turn 8. Everyone's dropping like flies. We find out that this Electabuzz is very fast, which, he should be. It outspeeds the Zapdos, and now we're going for a little Para Flinch, but instead we get a Para Crit, and that does matter. I mean, at the end of the day, it does matter. Once again, Will just, bringing in Aerodactyl and just slamming the buttons that do damage, so we like that. And we actually see Dusclops hiding in the back here, but he is not Resist Meteor Mash. That does 89. It's a little bit of a shame that Drew missed his first one, because that thing was dead. And misses the second one, too. Oh, that's terrible luck. Everyone press F in the chat. But Jeeper gets to stay in, do a little more work. We see HP Ghost. Yes, we do. And Aerodactyl once again hits the field and gets a free HP flying, but doesn't kill Machamp. My goodness, that is my guy right there. He is the GOAT for a reason. Now we got two big dudes staring down each other. We just find out who's faster. Ursaring is faster than Machamp. Leading to an Ursaring versus Typhlosion endgame, and we see Mr. Mammal easily takes that Flamethrower and cleans game 1. So I'm not sure at the end of the day the Metagross miss would have won the game. I think it, just would have died anyways to Ursaring. So we'll say it is what it is. But moving on to game 2. So a really nice fast game 1 from both. I don't have a whole lot to say about it. These teams are just built for damage. Especially Drew, who's just here with 5 dudes to deal damage in a Toxic Tentacruel. So we'll just go right into game 2. So now Drew doing the play that I like, which is going to Metagross. Stays in, hits Shadow Ball, and gets T-Wave for his troubles, which isn't the end, not the biggest deal for Metagross. But Will not having a Ghost Resist means he's kind of just sacking Slowbro here. But sacking Slowbro for Metagross, it's not the worst, and gets immediately into an offensive presence with Mr. Mammal, who goes for an SD, and is actually really, really bulky, so he can take whatever hit Salamence wants to throw at him, but he does not kill. That Mence has HP from the standard DD set, has Brick Break for like Snorlax or something. Oh my gosh, here comes Salamence. He's ripping, he's tearing, has both Brick Break and Earthquake. Doesn't have a move for Aerodactyl though, sadly. When you run Brick Break, you cannot really run Rock Slide. Or if you're running both those moves, you can't run Rock Slide, you need that HP flying. Metagross gets paralyzed, very unfortunate, but he gets double paralyzed because he was going to boom that turn for sure. That's a shame, but Too Bigger for Bolton is here. He gets T-Waved, and he's still just willing to throw out some big T-Bolts, which I can respect going for the damage. And we see Ice Punch Electabuzz, which is cool, maybe for those pesky Dugtrios later on. Another Ice Punch here. Does he get parried? No, and he doesn't. He does kill Thunderball. It's a pretty guaranteed kill, yeah. Machamp now faster comes in. Does hit his Rock Slide. Everybody clap. And now we see Dusclops come in, and that HP Ghost is going to do only 49. Wow. And you can't burn Machamp. He is Guts in this gen. So, he's forced to either hit Hidden Power or Pain Split, but we see Memento come out, which is absolutely insane. Because Aerodactyl's just going to kill this thing anyways. Has to lock into Earthquake. Probably couldn't lock into HP Flying due to whatever's in the back there, like Tentacruel, so doesn't get the crit. And Drew wins game 2 on the back of a good DD Mence break, so we like that. Again, only 18 turns. Both games so far, only 18 turns. I gotta respect that. So we'll move on to game 3. And we see the same leads as always, Mr. Bro. But this time, Drew stays in and hits HP Ghost as Will reveals he's Calm Mind. And that changes a lot of things, because now this Metagross is not going to take those Surfs too kindly if it's, if it's on there. And if it has a Fire move for, like, Skarmory, he's going to explode. We do see Surf doing 52, a lot of damage, but once again, Will just kind of throwing Slowbro away. Actually decides to save it today, which is good, because, it is Banded Metagross. You do have a normal type. You can just do it. So maybe I could have been calling him out on those plays earlier, just, hey, that's Banded, go into Ursaring. But we now see what I really like about this set here is, first of all, that was an incredibly important crit. Let's talk that one out. But we do finally reveal the Agility Zapdos, who then baton passes to Nidoking, who, 1, ignores the T-Wave, and 2, kind of is sitting pretty with this coverage because he only needed Earthquake for the 2 dudes that get one shot anyways. Has Ice Beam prevents. There we go, 3 down. Tentacruel, you just, you can hit Earthquake or you can switch out. What's he going to do? So Drew's team just absolutely mollywopped his 3 best sweepers all down. All he has left are the support mons. It's certainly not looking good. And Tentacruel actually revealing it's faster than Zapdos, which is cool here. Doesn't get the freeze, but now Zapdos being faster. Will misclicked there, if I remember correctly, and forgot to pass the agility to Ursaring, which is really funny. It's even said in the chat there. But doesn't need it. Gets a huge Earthquake. Crit does not matter. Drew brings back Electabuzz. Goes for Ice Punch, expecting a switch into Nidoking, but it also doesn't kill, which kind of is unfortunate. So now it's Machamp versus the world, and I can assure you that Machamp is not going to win this without any form of speed boosting. So that's it. We're getting to turn 18 again. Here we are for the 3rd game in a row. Like, honestly, respect. Way better than I would have thought. So Chris Will taking a really, really fun 2-1 set there. Not a lot of thinking needed. Just, too many dudes doing damage, not enough walls. So we like that. Moving on. We'll get to the final match of winner's side now, which has Matt versus Hall, the 3 versus 6. And this is going to be interesting because I remember earlier on Matt said this was the hardest matchup he was going to have to fight. And by drafting Regice here, I'm going to disagree. This match got a lot easier. But we do see Brain Cramp staying in and Toxicking and kind of not winning this battle versus Regice. And has to hard switch because he cannot, he's not able to just baton pass out. He's too slow. He'll die before he does it. Regifizamelt just really putting off a good lead strategy, and we see Calm Mind Jinx early on. So, can it do anything? I don't know. Goes for Lovely Kiss. I don't know. I think I would have Calm Minded again there. Like, what's Vaporeon going to do to you? Doesn't usually run. Like, if it runs Haze, that's fine. And there we go. We see the T-Wave on Jinx, and Jinx is now probably one of the biggest threats, is now completely neutralized, because here we go. Kaboom. Regice has now deleted 2 really fast, strong Mons. And we see Weezing here versus Flagon. And we do see Skarm getting burned, which is nice. Now he has to think a little bit more about hitting Protect, but we do see Raikou only take 23 from a hidden power. That is not a good sign for Hall. I don't care how much Volt Absorb you have. That is not enough to break a sub. So he baton passes to his Water type. Well, I sure hope this thing has Roar. Well, he got crit, so it didn't matter. My guess is it had Roar, and it was just going to roar out with Calm Mind, but dying is a very unfortunate way of going out, too. And all of a sudden, 3 Mons die to Raikou. What do you have in the back? That's right, Dugtrio. You had to sack 2 Mons just to get Dugtrio in there. All for either Flagon, Mischievous, or Skarmory to come in later. Rip that Dugtrio. He is doing nothing for the rest of the game. Good double by Matt there into Flagon. He can pretty safely just hit Earthquake at this point and win the game. So Hall knows that, forfeits on turn 16, so we would have had another turn 18 game if he didn't. So yeah, LeBron's legacy is cleaning up there, nothing really to talk about. Turns out this is a really hard matchup for Hall. And maybe he should have, I don't know, I just don't think his team can really handle Matt's team that easily with the addition of Regice anymore. So. We do see sub on Houndoom, which is a shame because it got paralyzed, and I think this thing's actually really, really good if it doesn't get paralyzed, because now it's just way too slow to make use of its good damage numbers. And we actually see a double here to Regice, who dodges the lovely, that's just unfortunate. Dodges the Lovely Kiss, and now just kind of eats Jinx alive. Gets a paralysis. Oh, Hall's in a bad spot. Yeah, I mean, he gets the lovely kiss off, but like at what cost? This Jinx is doing nothing now. Oh wow, except it is doing something because that crit. And then we see Thunderbolt come out from Mischievous, so no Shadow Ball at least. Interesting technology for later, right? Skarmory comes in, just wants to get a spike up, which I can respect, but this Ice Beam's going to do, wow, nothing. 39, that's not a lot. Jinx somehow coming back from the brink of death, but not actually because it has Drill Peck, and we see that this isn't attacking Skarmory for once. Not running Toxic, running Drill Peck. So, interesting to note for later. Hall just goes for T-Bolt. You know, free protect turn. Jolteon can't set off Everyone Cry. But Sleeping Regice is actually not that good because you can't Toxic it. It's fine. It's just going to hang out. This Flamethrower is going to do not even half. So he needs a really, really big crit here if he wants to get it. But Matt decides to just play it safe, goes to Vaporeon, which we like. Houndoom does nothing to this. And especially with the Wish, like there is infinite HP happening right here. So once again, Regice back to full. I think pretty much guaranteed to wake up this turn now. Let's see, does he? Nope. Okay, so now he's guaranteed to wake up after this turn. But still decides not to stay in and eat the Flamethrower. Oh, Hall goes for Crunch. Pretty smart, but still not doing a whole lot. So we see Jolteon go for T-Bolt, do 23 again. Yeah, no, nothing good there. It's actually kind of like interesting. Oh my god, crit 65, absolutely disgusting. But we're kind of playing around the fact that I think Raikou can just come in here and sweep if he gets his sub up safely. Obviously, you still have to worry about Dugtrio, but if Dugtrio's not on the field, Raikou just cleans. So. Get another T-Wave off. Yep, everything's getting paralyzed. Paralysis kind of broken, and no one's running the Cleric on any of these teams. And another crit! Oh my god, Hall did not realize his... I did not realize how bad he got crit this game. Like, you can't do anything when all your walls just blow up. Because, like, what if he was booming that turn on the Ice Beam? Like, at least the Regice is dead. But nope, he just explodes. So Hall dancing around with what he's got. You know, probably needed to switch a Jolteon there, sadly. But it doesn't matter. We're just waiting for the cleanup at this point. Jolteon's back. It takes 20 from the Drill Peck. Wow. Let's go, Skarma. Big attack stats, and Matt just willing to rip it. You know, just saying, all right, cool, another guy down. You know, you got to pick Blastoise or you have to pick Dugtrio, and I can just protect and get lefties on both. But actually just sacking it to give Raikou the turn to get in, I guess. Yeah, that's fine, too. We see HP Grass, yep. Guaranteed kill. And Dugtrio comes in, has to lock into a move, so he's willing to sack the Raikou, knowing that it has to lock into Earthquake to kill it. Obviously, Hall could have attempted to lock into maybe Double Edge if he had it, or Rock Slide, but it was not going to win, so... Easy 2-0, real nice. Never really felt like Hall had any momentum. In fact, Dugtrio was pretty much a non-factor the whole set. Like having a whole team avoid Dugtrio is really, really, really good. So would have been better off bringing anything else. But it is playoffs, so we're actually dropping right into losers now. We're going to see our good friends Hall and Bannon again. So this is losers round 1. Just due to the way seeding was bracket happened in seeding, there are 2 matches that play round 1 and then go up into round 2 losers. So this is one of the round 1 matches. So both players looking to not get 9th today. And we see that, in this case, Hall's lead is much, much better. But Bannon goes into Snorlax, which is really, really good in Jolteon. You know, so, but we also have a pretty decent check into Lax here with Will-O-Wisp Wheezy. Probably has Feint Split too. And we see Ben willing to let Omastar get burned, and I can respect that. It's not, you know, it doesn't mind. And wow, that Surf did 50 to Jinx, and now Jinx can't put you to bed. So that's a problem for Jinx. Let's see what the Psychic does. 53. Do we get the high roll on Surf? We do, but it's still not enough. Thank you, Leftovers. So Hall willing to just clean up here, but actually Bannon wanting to keep his Omastar alive, which I like that. And a big crit on the Slowbro. Which means it's going to bed, and we'll see Jinx climb up this HP ladder yet again. Leftovers, it was a cool item. But now that something's actually put to bed, Jinx cannot do anything to Snorlax. He kind of, 34, that's, you know, is respectable, actually. But for its life, I don't know. I guess you put something to bed, you're kind of good there. We see Sludge Bomb do nothing to Slowbro, which is, I wonder what that was calling out. Maybe that was calling out, like, Executor or something. Once again, Hall just chipping away at Snorlax, probably trying to get it to rest at this point. Ooh, but Bannon staying in and goes for another return, doing about 30. Good numbers, you know. And now, let's see what he does here. Oh, no, he tries to trap Slowking or something and immediately dies to return. Dugtrio yet again doing absolutely nothing. Oh, that's so rough. That's one of your OUs. You gotta use it well. But I like the read. I like Hall going for the aggressive Dugtrio read there, you know. What if it worked? What if he rested? Like, if Snorlax rested that turn, you just hit Earthquake 3 times and win. Well, at least, you know, take it out. And now we see Explosion coming in. But no Dugtrio to trap after the explosion, so he's actually able to leave. And that crunch does 50 to Zapdos, my guy. Really safe T-Wave here by Bannon, just accepting that he can get away with that. And then goes for T-Bolt. Let's see, does he get the paralysis? No, he doesn't, so his Zapdos is dead. Good job, Houndoom. And we have a pretty high-quality Surf here, I believe. Yeah, I mean, there should be a Blastoise in the back that he could have sent. I don't know why he wanted to sack his Houndoom that early. Might still be useful. But actually goes right into Jolteon, gets a nice T-Bolt. There is no ground type on Bannon's team, so it's pretty safe to just spam that. And now we see Sunny Day Typhlosion here, and still willing to put up the Sun, which is funny. Doesn't go for a damage, but oh, gets the worst possible guy to come in here, because here comes a Solar Beam, and that's a one-shot. Really unfortunate roar targets by Hall on both of his sets so far. We'll see if Solar Beam kills Jolteon. Does not kill Jolteon. Jolteon built a little especially defensively, perhaps. At least has some. Well, probably doesn't have any HP, actually, but just, you know, decently, naturally bulky. But now that, you know, Jolteon probably can't one-shot this Typhlosion, so we're going to see it just explode here. We're going to game 2. So good job by Bannon. Actually, like, the only thing that really mattered that game was he called out when Dugtrio hit the field and just eliminated it immediately. So that was really helpful for him. We'll see how Hall adapts in game 2 here. See if he gets around that at all. But no spikes came up on the field, which is pretty decent by Hall. And we do see Gen 3 Snorlax doing the thing that it does best, which is be immune to Toxic. So have fun, special attackers. Good luck figuring out a way to break this thing. And we're kind of seeing a similar play to early game 1. Which is just, hey, here's my water type, please burn it. Blastoise finally hits the field, but now Bannon's getting the spike up. I like that. Get your spikes up. Like, it is the spinner. It is what it is. And then Hall makes a really good read and Ice Beams the Executor, which is a shame for Bannon because this Executor is meant to be in the sun only, so it doesn't have a grass move. It only has Solar Beam. It has to charge that up. It can't take the Ice Beam and charge up. So Bannon actually just kind of getting a little bullied there for that decision. We finally see the curse on Snorlax here, which it's kind of important to get this up early because Dugtrio can't like trap you if you just keep cursing. Obviously, the explosion can do a lot of damage, so you need to keep that HP high. Oh, another crit. So this should be the explosion turn if he's willing to do it. Bannon, no, he's not doing it yet. He's just, yeah, Bannon playing it safe, going right into Slowbro, even though he's set up. Let's see, Jolteon here takes, oh, it's another Calm Mind, bro. They're all Calm Mind today, and that's doing a lot of damage. That's still a 2-shot, my god. Yeah, unless it was like a really high roll that he's just gonna, yeah, he's gonna sack it. Wow, that's a shame. Slowbro was really important this set, I think, personally. And just the fact that he didn't have enough bulk to do it. We see Roar on Zapdos, but he got Toxic for it, so I would definitely call that a negative trade. And then we give the HP back to Jolteon. So Hall in complete control of this game. He is absolutely gaming out of his mind. And once again, Snorlax is kind of the only thing that's hanging on to this team, like the core of it together, because he is the guy to do that with. Does he return? Oh, he rests. See, oh, he couldn't return because he was burned. Yeah, they got that thing burned too early. And now we see the Hall Gambit here, which is the explosion of the Dugtrio. Really popularized near the end of Gen 3, and I really, really like that play. Snorlax completely gone. Bannon's best win cons now are his Sunny Day Sweepers, and Houndoom is still alive. So as long as Houndoom is alive, I think this is a pretty much in the bag game with Zapdos Toxic and, you know, almost start burned. So, but he does get it paralyzed for it. Gets away with the sub though. Noticing that Houndoom is not faster than Zapdos, so very speedy Zapdos today. Oh, he just roars him. I like that. Yeah, okay, I like that a lot. But look, this Toxic damage is racking up way too fast, and is still faster than Jinx. I think that one's naturally faster though. Like, it just shows that it's a timid or whatever, you know, Zapdos. And there's the Sunny Day. And because this Typhlosion doesn't have Earthquake, he's forced to go into his only other dude that can actually hit it. Kind of surprising that this thing hasn't moved to hit it. No, it doesn't. It's just going to hit Solar Beam anyways. But say hi to Threethin. It really is Threethin, and he is slamming these buttons. Hall only has to stall one more turn, and he can do it with Houndoom. So after that, he can just come in and trap it with Dugtrio. Let's see how much that does. That does 50. Wow, that's respectable. If that was a paralysis right there, there was a chance, very slim, that Bannon pulled that out. Or pulled this out. I don't think he's going to. Wow. Just let that Surf kill him, though? I don't know. Oh, wait, yeah, no, never mind. He's got Dugtrio. Never mind. Here's why we all draft Dugtrio, guys. This is why he was so good. Hey, did you leave all your grounded dudes at the end of the game? Here you go. So finally, Dugtrio proving that it is worth its draft pick. And we go to game 3. So Snorlax comes in, and we're kind of getting a repeat of game 1 here. Taking about 20. Little baton pass to Weezing. Bannon just going for a really early curse. I think I would have just liked the damage return gave early on there. Knowing that Hall's biggest weakness is actually the fact that he doesn't have a normal resist on this team. So just slamming those big normal moves early and then not getting burned is probably a nice way to play around it. But Bannon just going for the super setup, which, I don't know. I feel like it's definitely a little too early for this. I mean, he knows he's getting roared out here. But that Snorlax needs to hang on for the whole game, not just now. So a fun little sub here by this. Oh, what hidden power is it? Oh, it's HP Grass. That's a shame. That's not breaking the sub. Houndoom's in a perfect position. And Bannon sets up the Sun for him, which is kind of funny. I guess he maybe wants to find out if he's Flash Fire. Like, I don't know. Bring him down. All right, so he's bringing him down to his Pataya Berry. So he's trying to get the Pataya HP Grass sub break at the cost of his Typhlosion, it looks like. Which is absolutely not worth it. But it does make you wonder what the final move on this is. And it doesn't even break it. That's the sad part. Oh, no, he does have Sunny Day. That's right. He is only running 2 attacks. So, yeah, losing the Typhlosion early. I think Bannon just a little bit burned out of the long game here. Didn't want to play it and just didn't have the raw power to break through. But, however, he's getting a little bit lucky here. Bannon does just T-Bolt the Blastoise. I don't know why Hall stayed in. Probably thought he was going to get T-Waved. But gets away with it. Blastoise dead. So there is room for Omastar to come in later and do some work. And we do get Snorlax sleeping. Good. Get that burn off him. But now he has to leave. I think he's forced to. Burns a sleep turn. Okay. All right. Goes into Slowbro once again. We see Sludge Bomb. Ooh, big crit and poison. Oh, that's rough. That's really, really, really bad for Bannon. Great for Hall, though. Absolutely fantastic for him. Because the biggest problem with the Slowbro is just, chipping it down to Dugtrio range, and now he's pretty much there, guaranteed. We still have Lovely Kiss on the String Sphere if he wants to send it, and he misses. I would have done the same. Especially because you're not getting any damage back on this Omastar. My god, those Calm Minds are boosting, but Psychic doing 86. And now everything's effectively in Dugtrio range. As soon as Zapdos dies, you just hit Dugtrio moves 4 times. And we see 31 on Psychic, quite a lot. Oops, sorry guys, I meant to hit. Did not realize it worked that way. But we're going through, and Snorlax is going to be forced to rest again at some point. And we're going to see the Snorlax Gambit come in, probably. Does he hit rest this turn? Please hit rest this turn. Know how rest turns work? Good, good, good. I'm don't remember everything in these sets. But he had to do that in order to have any shot of winning. But Bannon doing, honestly, Hall doing a great job of getting Snorlax down to 66 here, because now Dugtrio gets to do its job, which is 1 Earthquake, still asleep for turn 2, and now 2 Earthquakes. So that's why I think on that last turn, obviously, you need to go sack something else, but we're finally seeing Dugtrio do something. HP, what looks to be Grass again, and that did a lot for a crit. T-Wave, does he get lucky? He does. But now he has to decide again if he's going to T-Wave or Thunderbolt here. And just Thunderbolts. Oh, wow. Yeah, Hall just trying to get the boom off. That makes sense. Because now you're clean with Dugtrio. You just boom, boom, boom. But, plays a little safe. Expects the Executor to come in first. But, regardless of what comes in, it's 3 crunches and you win the game here. So he's chilling. 1 and 2. And looks like Hall will be moving on in bracket. Because that's a one-shot. Woo! I mean, it definitely was, but, maybe it was built different. I don't know. So we're really happy to see Dugtrio team actually work here, because it was not doing anything in his first set. Ben put up a good fight, but he needed to clear the Houndoom if he wanted to actually enact his game plan. And honestly, just couldn't really figure out a way to get his water types in safely on the dude that has Crunch and HP Grass, sadly. So really, honestly, a really tough matchup for Bannon once Snorlax got taken out. So good job on Hall for adapting on that game 2 and 3 on that one. The other side of losers, we have the other side of losers round 1. We have Adam versus Triple, and Triple's team actually matches up pretty decently here, but I think Adam's got a lot of, Skarmory's a problem for Triple's team, so we'll see. We see Hariyama cross-chopping turn 1 instead of going for a knockoff, probably just figuring I'm going to get some big damage on Adam's team. Doesn't have a whole lot of, we notice there's no fighting resist here. But now it's yawned. We see Skarmory and Scizor. Scizor can't do anything to Skarmory. He just has to get out. Like, there's nothing you can run in the world to deal with it, so. Adam gets a nice little spike here, and we see Sub Arcanine, which he knew about. Regirock is still a very safe play here. HP Grass going to do actually pretty respectable damage. I got to give that one credit. But JT now absolutely has been doing his calcs in between sets and says, that's banded, I get the free arrow switch. And I think Adam needs to know that. And he needs to be hitting Rock Slide this set. Speaking of hitting Rock Slide, that did not hit Rock Slide. And Aerodactyl's now toxic, which, isn't the end of the world for Aerodactyl. Let's see, does he get another spike up here? Because I think I would spike again. Yeah, good job, Adam. Good spike. But sadly, because now that you know you're toxic, honestly, I would have probably just Whirlwinded there, or Roared, or whatever it has, right? JT really likes putting this thing behind the sub to do its work, because once it's not behind the sub, it's in trouble. It actually doesn't stay in. Oh, wow, makes the double. All right, good double by JT. Expecting Houndoom, and Houndoom HP Grass does not kill even after 2 layers of spikes. Oh, but he misses Hydro. That's brutal. It should be a pretty safe crunch here, but just, HP Grass again, just to be safe. Or, just I don't know, just in case, who knows. I would have crunched, though. Oh, wow, that thing still took that. That's awesome. That's a little extra chip on Arrow. He couldn't even miss the Rock Slide, because it's Banded Arrow as well. So, Blastoise comes in, has a pretty safe surf. Oh, JT is just willing to let it rip. Gets looking for the damage. All right. The Blastoise is actually dangerously low now. Arcanine could threaten this thing with an HP Grass, I think, because it doesn't have its leftovers. And there it is. Houndoom, pretty good check to this Arcanine. It does have E-Speed. We're going to see how much that does. 45, definitely not enough. Actually, it would win the 1v1 at full HP, but... JT really just trying to rip things low, probably looking for a scissor sweep at this point. Hariyama comes in. I guess that's all he had left. Yeah, I'm trying to think. And that Fire Blast is proving that is not Thick Fat Yama, and he misses his most accurate damage move in Rock Slide. So really bad luck by Triple on that one, because now he lost one of his best mons left to dealing with the team. We see Kabutops. Not the guy you want in versus HP Grass, but it does have Endure. We haven't seen that yet. And there's the Endure Select. Doesn't have the SD yet, though. So the Flail's definitely going to kill, but you kind of got a little problem here. Oh, wow, that crit. Okay, that crit probably mattered. So there's a little too much walling here. And maybe the Rock Slide there would have killed, but probably not. Yeah, it doesn't have the SD boost. Or it could have flinched in 2-shot is really what I should be saying. And we have Scizor versus the World. And I hate this play by Adam, first of all. Whoa, I went so far. I just skipped it all. Let me go back. So I think this was I won the game and turned my brain off for a sec because it's Scizor. And I'll bring in my Phaser that only knows Toxic, and it's the last mon. Just don't do that. That's not the play. You can't do that. So he's got to get out. I think he realized that this turn goes, oops, I made a mistake. And all of a sudden, Scizor was a problem because of that. But we do have Yawn Blastoise going. It goes first. That's huge. If that Yawn didn't go off, I think JT wins this. And then for some reason brings his Skarmory back in. It can't do anything. Get it out of here. Alright, so a lot of wasted turns. Honestly, though, I believe that was pretty smart, though, by Adam to bring in the Skarmory on that turn. Just to force him to, basically force him to not just kill Regice turn 1. But, you see the SD come in. You need to pivot that in. This is just... you let Scizor get way too strong. Just making the bad play at the end there. You needed to just, maybe you didn't have the damage on any of it, but, Yawn Blastoise before it set up at all, and then just, slam Ice Beams into it. Probably could have won that game, but it's okay. Now we know what not to do in future games, or at least who to save, right? Like save that Houndoom. But that's okay. We get a knockoff blasters here, game 2. At least I think these are all in the right games. I apologize if they're not. Pretty sure I sorted them. And we see, there we go. We see Adam going for the Banded Rock Slide. We do see Swampert take it really, really well, though. And Blaster's already kind of done. No lefties, 40%. Not in Torrent, but dangerously low. Let's see, does he stay in? Yes, he does. Ooh, now Blastoise is faster in Torrent. There's no water resist, but it's not enough to kill Swampert. And now we see actually one of Adam's best mons in this team die early, just because there is no water resist. And those Torrent Surfs could have done a lot. But Houndoom, safe crunch. Aerodactyl comes in. You got to go Regirock or Scarm here. Let's see. He goes Regirock. Rock does not resist rocks, so that does quite a lot. And now we see 28% Rock Slide. Pretty good damage for this this NU mon or whatever it was. I think it was UBL back in then. Getting the spike up. I like that. You're pretty safe to do it here. Because, like, if you see the way this team is built, like, you just let this Skarmory come in, you do a few spikes, do a few whirlwinds, and then you just get out. Like, there isn't a spinner, if I recall. Like, I don't believe Kabutops has the spin move. So you just get your spikes up, and then you just let your offensive side rip through this team. We see Earthquake doing 50. Love that Earthquake. Wow, that's a lot. Does he double here? Come on him? Yeah, good double at him. There we go. JT just willing to rip the 40% flinch, and he gets it, especially with the no leftovers, so he gets a really easy 2-turn there. So good luck on JT on that side, but here comes the one guy faster than Aerodactyl. And, yep, forces Scissor in, does 13, so you can absolutely see that that is the most specially defensive Scissor of your life. Also doesn't mean it doesn't hit too hard, so this Wish Pass Jolteon's kind of going crazy. Ooh, but a double Baton Pass here. And we do see Kabutops versus Regirock. And I don't know. I'm not sure about this one. Yeah, he's just going to die for it. The SD Fellow set versus a rock type is certainly a risk. And there was, like, literally no reason for Adam not to hit Earthquake there because he can't sub anything else into it. Like, everything else would just get eaten alive. So, I don't know. An interesting play by JT. But, honestly, JT's still in a pretty decent position. Ooh, not after that crit, though. That crit did too much. Now it's looking a little scarier. And Adam willing to not let JT get a... Oh, my God, no, Adam, what was that? He pulled him. He probably had to break sub guaranteed, but still, that's crazy. That's crazy booming it like that. But actually, Jolteon in a pretty good spot here. Scissor's going to come in. Threaten to kill, but Regirock being a high HP means he gets a... Oh, he's just going to stay in and do 37. Wow. Let's go. And then JT Baton passes thinking he'd switch. He just goes slam T-bolts. All right, this is what I want to see. This is more what I like to see from Jolteon. And now, due to the double Spike Slayer, this could be a kill. Not quite, though, so probably not good enough. JT going for the... Does he get the boost? He does not, so unfortunately for him, no way around this upcoming... Oh, it definitely would not have mattered. Yeah, so good job by Adam keeping his... Look, the two guys that stayed alive, the two that could deal with Scissor at the end there, so... Good for him. We'll move on. Not a lot to say about JT here. He, honestly, I think he just sacked his Kabutops a little too early. That thing can do work, especially versus Adam. So, you know, Skarmory has to die at some point. And, ooh, bad start by JT. Unfortunately missing his cross chop, but does get the lefties off, and honestly, that's pretty big. Adam getting 2 layers of spikes on. Cool. And does he go for 3? Let's find out. Does he go for 3? Yeah, get all 3 up, and now you get a free protect. No, protect, find out what he's going for. It's okay. I mean, you got Regirock for pretty much anything he's going for, but if he did go for Earthquake, you just toxic that turn. So now the triple air with spikes is actually huge, and I'm not sure why he went to Regice here. It is a mixed attacker, but that's okay. Now everything's taking 25% chip. Ice Beam doing not enough. He's got to get out. Ooh, he stays in, eats an HP rock for 40. I don't know. Oh, okay, all right. T-Wave. Okay. All right, I can get behind that. You got to get out now. Yeah. Silverwind, does he get the boost? He gets a crit? No boost. Somewhere Ethan's stolen all the boosts. And look at Swampert. Swampert can't take these hits, man. But he can take the rock side pretty decently. So. Blastoise hits the field, and we are seeing Swampert in Torrent range, but I think he's just about to leave it. So those pumps are not going to do a whole lot. Let's see what happens to Scizor here. Scizor eats the Surf. 29. Do you surf again if you're Adam? Yes, you do. And Scissor's dead. The whole reason you lost game 1 is over now. Get this thing out of here. Go into Skarmory right now. Yawn. That's gonna be a lot of damage though. Okay, he only knocks. It's good. So I'm personally don't quite remember how this set goes, but oh no, you gotta get Blastoise out of here. You can't keep him in. This is a really important wall for later. But right now, willing to just trade off sleep turns for surfs, which okay. Oh, it's getting. Oh, he's gonna win this one because he doesn't wake up. So if Blastoise had lefties, he'd be at like 80 now, but he doesn't. So Arcanine gets a pretty good switch in here. HP Crash shouldn't kill, but also I'd be surprised if Surf does. Going to Regice is not the play I would have gone for, but let's see. Does he hit his Fire Blast? Okay, Regice is gone. You have a Houndoom. Like, where's Houndoom? Where's he? Oh, but that's a Torrent boosted Surf now, so that is gone. Aerodactyl in. Now you gotta go Skarmory, right? But now you can't. It's okay, just Whirlwind again. Toxic's pretty good neutral play too. I like that. Protects. Let's see what happens here. He pumps. Oh, you gotta hope you dodge that second pump now. You gotta do it for the double, right? Yeah, but no, Skarmory's not gonna. Oh, but he misses. Oh my goodness, JT, how are you coming back from this one? So Aerodactyl's coming in here to hit Rock Slide, which gets him toxic for his troubles. Now the question is, if I'm Adam, do I protect? Yeah, or it's like, do I protect or do I toxic again? So honestly, you keep this. I think you maybe even keep this thing alive. But let's see. So here's Regirock. He can take a Rock Slide, which is good. Oh, and by that I mean he'll just dodge it. Wow. Okay, so now that you're locked into Rock Slide, we see Kabutops coming here at 25. And SDs. Oh, and Adam misses the Rock Slide. Oh, he gets another one. Oh, this is huge. This could be the whole game because now he puts him right in Slack range. Yeah, look at that. Boom, one. If he hits all his Rock Slides, it's basically over. In fact, he doesn't even need to. I think he can just flail at this point. Yeah. I think there was some slight misplays by Adam with the Blastoise in the mid game there, because just keeping that thing alive for this later on would have won the game. But wow, that was a close set. JT's skin of his teeth pulling out the Kabutops sweep. That was something else. So a fun set by both. I really do think Adam's team, if he just locked in a little bit more, would have beaten JT here. Just had has a good team. I don't know if it would have gone all the way, but it definitely had the makings of a well prepared team. So I got to give credit for that one. And he played it decently well. Like, he got that nice win game too. He played both his sets versus Drew pretty nicely. So nothing else to say. JT moves on. We're going to go on to losers round 2, where we have Atomic Boo versus Beef Slippers. Hall versus Drew. And we're going to see now the Jolteon Machamp leads. And we get a baton pass. He does not want to take this cross chop. Goes never mind. Takes nothing because he Earthquaked and went to Levitate Weezing. The Sludge Bomb doing actually pretty decent damage to Tentacool. I got to say, that's pretty nice. Surf coming in on Weezing here. So Weezing actually gonna get 2-shot if he doesn't switch it out. Has a really, really easy answer though. Just go right into Blastoise. Tentacruel can't do anything. Especially not this Tentacruel. So goes back into Weezing though. Oh, what's he cooking? Oh, he's dodging the Toxic. We like that. I mean, I think Drew should probably just switch out at some point and save this Tentacruel for later. But never mind, he's willing to stay. Oh my god, gets a crit surf for his bravery. We like that. One layer of spikes and this Jolteon's dead. And there goes Tentacruel. Drew not willing to switch at all. Goes Electabuzz. Oh, that's curious. Let's see what happens here. He gets T-Wave. Yep, clean. Honestly, a little surprised he didn't just go straight into Dugtrio, but we're going to get that here because we just see the Ice Punch there, and here's Dugtrio. And see you later, Electabuzz. So Dugtrio comes in, gives Salamence a free DD. But Mence DD isn't the best thing to do here, in my opinion, because while you probably can handle this Weezing, especially with the Lum Barrier, right? Like, you can handle the Weezing. Either that's going to happen, you're going to get boomed on, or you're going to see Ice Beam Blastoise come in and just kill you. So losing your best setup sweeper a little too early here, and then getting your Metagross put to bed, it's looking pretty rough for Drew. Does have Typhlosion though, and this Typhlosion does know Earthquake, does have a Slack Berry, so there is a little bit of light here, light in the darkness, and we see Crunch do 56, so that will 2-shot. Let's see if Drew... Oh, Drew just Earthquakes. He's trying to call out the Endurance here. Or he's trying to call out Hall, calling out his Endure. We like that. But this Metagross wakes up. Does he explode? He does. And all of a sudden, with the Blastoise gone, this game gets interesting again. Let's see. Does he do it? He does Endure. Yep. Hall makes a smart play. Just switches. And the Earthquake is not enough damage, even if he did get the Endure. So see you later, Alligator. And now it's pretty much over. So we're going to see... Had to switch the music there, guys. But we're going to see the champ come in and explode to a Psychic. Yep, that sounds about right. So, Hall with a great game one. You know, Dugtrio cleans up the one guy that it needs to, and kind of just outpowered this team, surprisingly. The power of Explosion and status moves. Well, really just Lovely Kiss taking out two big answers right off the bat. So if Drew wants to get his, get this dub going, he needs to make sure those guys don't fall too early again. And now actually switches Tentacruel into a Baton Pass. Oh my god, no, that's not good. See you later, Tentacruel. It is over for you. Dugtrio trapped you, and you have lost the game. Losing your water that early is brutal. Probably why actually Drew is probably hitting Surf so much early game. And now Drew's sending in Metagross too. Boom on Weezing. Wow. This is turn 5, and everyone's falling to pieces, man. So we scout out the HP Ice there with Typhlosion, which is fair. I put a YouTube link there. I don't know what I said back in the day. It was probably something silly. But Electabuzz is really, really tough. He has 2 moves that don't do anything to Dugtrio. He has to run Ice Punch if he wants to even hit. Like, he has to hit Ice Punch on a Water type or a Fire type. It's a bad day, but he has Cross Chop. Hey, look at that. Houndoom's gone. Which means the path opens up for Typhlosion, potentially. And actually, looking at the team right now, there is potential for Salamence to sweep. If he gets a crit on Blastoise, it is over. We'll see. Does he attempt to do it here? Does he want to do it? He does. Does he go for the crit? He does. He does not get it, and he dies to Ice Beam. Blastoise having enough special attack to make that kill. And all of a sudden, Drew down to his last 2 Mons. Does hit a big Cross Chop. You like that? And bringing Machamp into Fighting Torrent range. Smile. Guarantee that crit. But with 1 dude left, and it actually is a guy that can do it, right? Oh, Typhlosion gets put down into Blaze range, and I believe he's in his Berry range. It's just not procced yet, for some reason. We had this interaction happening, and I don't remember why, but gets the double Endure here, eats his Slack Berry, and all of a sudden, if the Earthquake kills, he gets it, or the Flamethrower, he doesn't get it. He misses out on the kill Flamethrower. And then Hall goes, I'm not going to fall for the Endure, realizing that if it fails, he can just get Endured again. I really don't know if the Earthquake would have killed here if the Flamethrower was better, but even so, it was probably a roll. So that could have gone to game 3, but we don't get it. Instead, we get Hall moving on and making this post-PR a little faster. I think Drew played it fast and loose. Obviously, his team wasn't built to play a long game. But he did get, he did throw a couple Mons away, sadly. But Hall capitalizing really well with Dugtrio. I mean, it's easy, but it's also not that easy. You don't want to lose your Dugtrio on a bad switching. So, good job by him. He's really moving up now. He's starting to, not having to play Skarmory teams really does wonders for the Dugtrio team. And we'll move on. Say good job to Drew. He played well for a season he didn't particularly want to play too much. But it was a fun team to watch. And we get the other side of losers here with THT versus Triple. Triple having a tough bracket ahead of him. But has a great lead matchup here with Hariyama and goes for the knockoff. It's what you do. You don't need to hit your fighting moves early. And Chris is going for damage. Finding out that HP Flying is pretty decent in Swampert. And you got to scout for the HP Electric. But, oh my god, he gets crit Ice Beamed instead for his troubles. That's brutal. For some reason, JT doubles? Oh, he could have just Ice Beamed again. Maybe he thought he was slower. He was probably slower. Never mind, he was definitely slower than Venusaur. He had to switch. But we get the Slow King here. And Slow King's really in a good spot. And if it has Flamethrower, nothing on JT's team can come in on it. But it doesn't look like it does. We know it's Calm Mind at this point. And we see Scizor start to do Scizor things in Gen 3, which is SD Baton Pass, see you later. Hariyama with a Baton Pass, and now Guts boosted? That's a problem. And Chris here goes for a play which may look kind of silly, and honestly it is. But he has no Ghost type. doesn't want to send in Slow King. And he has decided that Seismic Toss into Explosion is his only out, and he does it. He actually gets away with it. What an absolutely monstrous thing to try out. But now we see Kabutops just going for Rock Slide. He needs that damage. And a really, really powerful Giga Drain here if he wants to do it. I think you hit Sleep Powder here, though. Yep, gets the Arcanine to sleep. And now you actually have really free Leech Seeds as Chris. Because now Scissor 1 can't Baton Pass unless he passes the Leech Seed, and Venusaur is coming way healthy again. And we get Blaziken coming in here, who probably scares the Scissor. I don't think that HP Rock might kill, but he's slower, so we'll move on. Great Sub-Turn Scout. It's a shame there's no HP Grass, though, because you're doing absolutely nothing to this Swampert. That Sky Uppercut does 30. So Blaziken not really proving his worth right now without HP Grass. Probably wants to keep him alive, though, so doubles into Slow King. And JT kind of crazily goes for Hydro Pump. I think he was trying to hit maybe Gyarados, too. Just having something that hits both of them, right? And shout out Slow King doing 27 with a Surf there to spit out Scizor. We see 60 to Kabutops. It's getting pretty rough for JT right now. He does endure. Oh, and Chris calls him out. He Toxics. Oh, game 1 is going absolutely every single way that JT is not wanting to go. His Aerodactyl hasn't even hit the field yet, but he does fish out a flinch here. I think Chris needs to keep this Slow King alive if he wants to have his Aero check for later, and he gets double flinched for it. Oh, that's really unfortunate. I mean, you have to, you can't let your Slow King take 40 for no reason, right? Like, you got to go here, basically. Just intimidate him, just let it rip. Let it go. And here comes Aerodactyl, ready to hit the field in a fantastic position. And honestly, if I was Chris there, I might have just gone T-Tar. Like, you have no reason to sack your Gyarados there. If he Earthquakes, you can go back to Gyarados. You're pretty safe. Misses a Rock Slide, really, really unfortunate. I mean, it wouldn't have done any damage, but he tried, Gary coming in, getting good Leftovers recovery. Does he go for Leech Seed on the Scissor here? I think I would. Nah, it goes for the Giga. Like, I know you gotta just attempt to kill the thing in front of you in case you don't actually, he stays in, but we do get the Leech Seed here. Oh, he passes it! Aerodactyl gonna finally take some chip. Now you have a much more interesting decision. This is a really safe Earthquake, or in this case, Double Edge. Interesting. I'm probably trying to call out the Slow King there, but goes into Blaziken. I don't know about that one, Chris. Does he live? Oh, never mind. This Blaziken is built different. It does take out Arrow, which means probably the biggest threat to T-Tar is now gone. We do see the glitchy Leech Seed on the screen. It's not actually there. It will go away. Misses the Sky Uppercut. Probably just looking for damage. Honestly, if I'm Chris there, I fish for the Fire Blast. Here in Blaze might even do more. Try to get the burn too while you're at it. I don't know. Sky Uppercut's such a funny move. Now JT's been working his way back though really well. Getting these right reads in the end game here. Really like that. Silver wins, and that's a lot of dudes weak to bug right now. If he gets the boost, it could just be over. And he does live 2 Surfs, so he tries it again. Does he get the 10%? So far has never gotten the boost, and that's kind of sad. And we're going to see T-Tar go for a Dragon Dance here just because, he does need that power, and he does not even get 2-shot by that. So he might get 2-shot by the Silver Wind. We'll see. But needs the power for Swampert, and man, you got to have HP Grass or Flinch. He's going for the Flinch. He does go, does not get it. Swampert proving a real menace this game. And actually, JT fighting back from what looked to be a really bad spot. Really impressive what you do when you keep your Swampert at full HP. Something to keep note of for future matches for him. Really like that endgame by JT. Getting into Gyarados Hariyama here, we see the exact same as game 1 here with the knockoff. Just you got to accept that somebody's losing their lefties. This should be a pretty easy sleep turn here, I think. Oh, he misses the Leech Seed! That was a pretty good play, too. I like that. And honestly, this Arcanine stinks into this Swan right here. It's not doing anything, so you have a really good chance to just start DDing with Gyarados, but I think it's, just let it rip. Just get some damage out there. Find out your numbers. You got to chip the Swampert down somehow. And that's a really good Swampert answer if you're willing to use it as the one for it. So I like that. Now, Surf's doing 30 to Scizor. Just imagine this had Flamethrower over Calm Mind. I'm just going to say it. What if it had Flamethrower? Let him cook. But we're seeing a lot of the same pivots over and over again, except this time, Venusaur is going to do the thing where it never dies again. We sure do love Seed Stall. Oh, and that's a huge crit. I'm like, why is that doing so much damage? That Fire Blast doing about 40 to Slow King. And that is not slow growth. That is especially defensive one, too. Anyways, we see Scizor making momentum pivots into Aerodactyl, and actually a really good pick here. I don't like going Slowking right away. You've been using this guy as your Swampert check. I think you're better off going into Registeel early at this high HP versus Aerodactyl, because if he Earthquakes you, you can probably take 2 of them. This is a good shot. And you can get a T-Wave off, and then he's effectively like neutered, or you can just go for Seismic Toss right on the Swampert switch in. Even having Registeel for the Swampert is good later. But JT's having a lot of trouble, like me, breaking through this Venusaur. There's not a lot he can do. I remember in this game, he really wanted to let Arcanine go to bed, and Chris was not hitting Sleep Powder. Like, he was saving that Sleep Powder for probably Scizor or somebody else, right? And the entire time we were watching that, I was thinking to myself, that is some serious, like, patience by Chris. Oh, he gets frozen by the Ice Beam. JT lucking out here, proving he doesn't have HP Electric. He doesn't. Oh, wow, that's huge. Absolutely huge. He's just trying to defrost his Gyarados. You don't get to defrost by passing off Intimidates, but at least you do get to lower the damage coming in on Venusaur, which is, at least you're doing something with it. Once again, Leech Seeds. He's not putting anything to bed. He is letting all the HP go down. Really liking the way he's playing this. Does he hit the fire move? He does. He's going to defrost him for it. What a kind guy. So getting the Ice Beam off. Arcanine's really low, and Chris has been playing a really, really clean beginning of this game. And I know JT's looking for that opening. Let's see, does he get it here? Ice Beam, does he get another freeze? Does not. But has, with this opener on Gyarados, we're going to see, oh, he could have DD'd again. He is not faster. That's why you got to do it one more time. And maybe hit, like, I don't know, a water move. Probably Rock Slide on that Gyarados. I really don't know what it covers anymore. We do see Rock Slide on T-Tar doing nothing. T-Tar's having a rough day. This is not a good T-Tar matchup, I gotta say. Having the fighting type, the Swampert, the Aerodactyl, the Scizor, you're not doing a whole lot. Oh, we see Cross Chop Crit. Yeah, Cross Chop Crit. And finally, JT gets the sleep he wanted. Now he can safely switch in his other dudes. So finally gets it after 30 turns. And here comes Scizor to take a Leech Seed, and like it is lowering its HP. As Venusaur, you can even probably just stay in. But he decides to go to Blaziken. Does he get the boost? Still no boost. I think that's 6 times now no boost for those who are counting. But JT has to hard switch to avoid giving the leftovers away, and we see Blaziken actually able to potentially get this kill here, and he does. Swampert's down. The first trouble is you have to play 50-50 with Arrow. Once again, no, you can't let your Gyarados die because you got to deal with this now. This Earthquake dude that literally there's no resist anymore. Just a lot of troubles with Aerodactyl. And oh my God, Scizor lives at 1. I mean, that was a pretty high roll for Surf, but I think we saw 30 earlier in the match, so could have killed. The Chief comes in, gets crit. Really is the game of crits. But you have a pretty safe Seismic Toss here if you want to go for it. Hariyama comes in. Hariyama looking great in this position, honestly. Not a lot. Venusaur is pretty low. Probably has to bring it in, though. Does knock off his lefties, and that's really bad for Chris in the sand. All of a sudden, this Venusaur's lifespan is limited. Does get the Leech Seed, does hit. So Scizor giving some of his HP back. Scizor has to hard switch or hit a damage move here. And Chris goes for Giga Train. It's the only move he has to hit him, and it doesn't kill. So with Venusaur so low now, Aerodactyl gets, really, really free Earthquake. And decides to sack Venusaur, which I guess you have to at this point. Kabutops comes in, takes another Surf again. We're going to find out if he's going to endure this turn or not. Goes for Rock Slide. Does Chris go for Surf? No, does the safe-ish play. Goes for Toxic. Now get out. The problem is, you've let your Slowking take too much damage. I think the right play here, 2 turns ago, is when Kabutops comes in and eats the Surf, you go right to Registeel because it cannot touch Registeel at all. You have T-Wave and Seismic Toss, so you can just toss it as many times as you need. And then your Slowking can actually check Aerodactyl the one more time you need it to. But in this case, you let Slowking go down and Registeel's at high HP. We'll see if that matters. The Chief is here. And he's threatening a T-Wave. But does he just Seismic Toss instead? That's what I want to know. He booms! Ooh, I don't know about that one, Mr. Squidward. Kind of a desperation boom there. he has to hope to dodge cross chop, and he is absolutely not dodging that hit. So a little misplay on the end game there by Chris, and JT swings it out. He said little jokes in the chat there, Chris. I can appreciate it. Really like Chris's team this playoffs. I think maybe Blaziken was slightly underwhelming, but it's really hard to run him on a sand team. So I kind of get it. You still want the fire typing for the steels that are out there and whatnot. And you had a Snorlax in round 1, so you kind of had to bring him. And JT's still moving on without a water resist against, granted, slow, you're not hitting water moves again. So it's really only the Slow King who you have, once again, another bug type move on your Spidef wall to actually hit him. So kind of lucking out by getting into these, water types that are kind of weak against his team. But still, doing a great job playing around his team's big weakness. And I really like his ability to bring these games back. And we're going to keep going. We're going to see JT continue on. So, but we're actually going to probably pivot back in the winners for the first time in a while. We're probably halfway done with this. We're going for a while, guys. We see me versus Corey, and this is going to be a really long game because Corey was the one guy I mentally had to make my team around. And it's why you're seeing the Body Slam Wish Protect Jirachi here, because it's the only thing that can deal with Doug Trio. I felt fairly confident that JT would get smoked by Corey, and I hoped that Hall would get smoked out of loses and wouldn't have to fight him. But because I expected to fight, I was ready for Hall's team, but I was really ready for this Doug Trio team. That's why this Jirachi was the way it was. However, back to the game. We see Hariyama get paralyzed because this one is not guts. If I'm versus JT, I'm not making that move. But because this one's thick fat, I'm like, cool, let's get it paralyzed. Let's move it on. And then I boom his Dragonite, and I'm like, oh, this could go either horribly or wonderfully, without Steelix, what's gonna take all the what's gonna take later on, maybe any physical moves coming out. But I get the nice pivot into Salamence here, and get a nice Earthquake onto Vaporeon. And there's a lot of things that threaten this Mence right now, like this Ice Beam. So I have to dance around this Vaporeon. I don't have knockoff. So guess who's going to be doing a lot of recovering HP? That's right, it's Vaporeon. But for me, I have Ludicolo. And since this is not a Calm Mind Celebi, I am feeling like I can sit pretty here. But he actually stays in and crits and Giga Drains me instead of pivots out. Which really stunk for me. I really misplayed that. But I get absolutely lucked out of my mind and freeze him here. So he's forced to switch to get rid of that. We see Thick Fat taking 12 from an Ice Beam, which is really cool. I don't want Ludicolo taking too much damage, so I go into Salamence, and he actually pivots doubles into Vaporeon, expecting a Surf probably. So it worked out either way that it was a good double. And now we see the only reason this set ever is going to matter is who wins this interaction, right? Do I get the para with Body Slam? Does he crit me with Earthquake? That's all that happens. And this time I do get the para with Body Slam. And I'm not playing Wish Protect games. I'm just going to try and finish him off because he doesn't want to send in something else to get paralyzed. So I get the 60-40 this time. And it is a 60-40 chat, just so you know. Maybe the crit makes it a 55-45 if he crits Earthquakes early, right? But, it is what it is. And now all of a sudden Jirachi's it's like it never battled him, right? I've got T-Bolt, I've got Body Slam. This is not an Omastar that's a Swift Swim Sweeper. I mean, it might be, but, it's not in the rain currently, so I'm feeling pretty safe to just wish up on it. He can't Toxic me. It's the number one thing his team lacks. He Psychics thinking I'm going to go into Ludicolo, try and get my health back, but the truth is that I know that this is the only Mon that matters here. And there's actually not a whole lot to say here. I'm just attempting to get his walls down, and he has two ways of healing up HP. Does not get the kill, makes a good read with Psychic, though, knowing that I have to switch. But he's just looking to Leech Seed, Wish Stall everything out. Oh, but he gets a crit, so never mind. This game is back on. We are going to watch it. But I'm feeling really good just hitting, HP flying here. If Vaporeon does fall, this game becomes fun again. And here's Clefable. So my team's a little too passive with Clefable here. We Encore him into Wish. So Corey's just trying to, Wish stall me out. I'm trying to find a way for Salamence to come in and break the team. Because as soon as Vaporeon goes down, Salamence can sweep. Or if Vaporeon gets around 50%, we can sweep with it. So we're going to try and probably fish for, paralysis here on either Celebi or Vaporeon, the only two dudes that even want to come in anyways. Miss the Leech Seed. Bad luck for Corey there. Oh, and I punish him with a crit. I still don't get the para. Oh, now it's just terrible luck. He misses the thing again. Kind of funny that the particular luck we've been having this set. 4 body slams don't para, but he misses 2 leech seeds. Like, who wins that? He does get the leech seed in the end, though, but Celebi is way too low to do anything right now. And he knocks off my Salamence's lefties, which is not the end of the world. Especially if I can just get this Vaporeon down below 50. It's all I need. Dark Magician Girl comes in. We feel pretty safe hitting Ice Beam here. He stays in, though. Just a slow baton pass Celebi. We like that. We find out he is slower. So now look at that. It's like, look at this horrible, awful game we have to watch, guys. Like, together, you and me, sitting here with 2 teams with no setup sweepers that actually matter. And that might be a problem later on, just a heads up. So we're going to put this game to fast because there's really not a whole lot to say. Everything that we just went over is kind of the game plan for both teams. Corey's just attempting to stall out to catch one of my guys off guard. I'm just looking to keep Jirachi healthy so I can wish pass to the rest of my team. Like Salaman's here, and he probably doubles out. Or he goes for HP, I don't know, what do you guys think that is? Ghost? Probably Ghost. And now this Omastar here, I actually, like, realize 44 is enough to kill. So now that that's gone, HP Flying is a lot safer to spam, which is nice, you know. Gets a big crit Ice Beam. He hits HP Fire finally. He hasn't been hitting that too often on me. All I'm saying is if this was a Calm Mind Celebi, things would have gone a lot faster. He's playing around Encore, which is nice. Good job by him. And I got a T-Wave off on Vaporeon finally, so realizing that's probably my way out here. It's just T-Wave Vaporeon. Hope he can't do too many wishes, but he does just baton pass to Hariyama, who is, once again, at full HP. Everyone's been regaining HP today. Cross Chops Ments, I mean, that does a lot if it crits, you know? But doesn't have a whole lot of them left, so. Let's see if I hit do I hit Ice Beam here? No, I played it safe and hit HP Grass. So my team's a little too passive, too. Clefable doesn't have Magic Guard. We're seeing the same loop over and over again. So we're going to put it on Hyper Fast just to speed it up. Finally, I do actually T-Bolt Vaporeon, which is nice. I don't know why I wasn't doing that earlier. But now everything's paralyzed again. And I finally get Blue Eyes White Dragon. I get Salamence in on... And here's exactly what I need to see, right? I got it in on Celebi. Granted, he got the Leech Seed off, so that's at 36. So we're not there yet. But he hasn't hit Wish. Until this turn. So we got to do it one more time. The dance continues. He's got 3 dudes at 100. Running out of wishes, though. He's only got 9. And he actually forfeits on turn 73. I guess I completely forgot about that, thinking that I wouldn't win this game. And to be fair, we both have everybody at 100. He just wasn't willing to play. He only had 7 more Leech Seeds. It just would have gone too long. I respect it. It's a tough match. So we'll get to game 2. You see why this is an absolutely painful playoff set, this one. Like, no matter what doubles you do, the 2 teams' defenses are just way too high. Side Earthquake here. Get a nice chip on Vaporeon. This time realizing that Ludicolo is actually very, very important if it doesn't get trapped. And I actually Rain Dance here. And Corey has to switch out. So I go for Ice Beam anyways. You know, I want that Dragonite gone. I do not want to be HP Flying. He goes back to Dragonite, and watch that Surf damage in 27. He's just trying to stall Rain turns now. But then decides that he loses the 50-50 call out there and just stacks his Dragonite again. And then gets 52% Celebi, which, like, it doesn't matter. He'll just recover all his HP eventually, you know, Wish Passing and all that. I set the Rain again. Wow, I was brave that day. All right. And that Surf does 54. Thick Fat does not ignore that. And he crits me. No, Ludicolo, you could have done so much more work. But we got second Ludicolo in the back here. I don't know if I had Psychic or not, but I HP Grass the Vaporeon on the switch in. You know, pretty safe call out there. And he's just trying to get a Wish off. He knows he needs to keep this thing healthy. So he wishes. And I think I Ice Beam Celebi, expecting Celebi. Not that it would have mattered, I guess, at the end of the day. I think it might have also killed Vaporeon still. So he finally gets his Spike up game 2 on turn 15. And then he crits me with HP Grass. And I'm like, no, both my water types are gone. How am I winning this? Sorry, guys, I accidentally hit the end turn instead of pause game. But spikes, and I lose one of my only HP grass dudes. So I lose both my HP grass dudes. So now all of a sudden Omastar is huge. But Jirachi should be able to T-Vault it to death if he stays in. Let's see what he does. He surfs in the rain and does only 40 because Jirachi's kind of built different. But it's enough that I'm actually forced to wish here, because I can't let Dugtrio trap me at low HP. And let's see, do I get the body slam? I do. So I'm brave and I body slam here because I needed to make sure that Dugtrio didn't trap me there. And if I got the kill on Vaporeon, that might have actually... No, 84, I would have been fine. But now he's so low, he has to sack his Vaporeon, and now his Wish Passing is gone. So even though I lost both my Waters types, we are just simply relying on this again. So I protect just to make sure, the post-Dugtrio lefties matter. So he gets the Earthquake 84, I get the Body Slam 56, and I paralyze again! So we once again win the 60-40, or the 58-42, whatever you want to call it. And now, Jirachi's done his job, but I still need to make sure I can live the HP Fire. And I'm pretty confident I can after seeing the calcs earlier by the Celebi. But he crits me! So we're so back! All of a sudden, Omastar is a problem. Wow, really big crit there. I forgot about that one. So I'm Dragon Dancing, because there's no Vaporeon to stop me. And he stays in and loses Celebi, so all of a sudden, things are looking a lot better. And then he lets his Hariyama die? I'm not sure why he's... Oh, it's right, he was so low. I thought he was at 100% still. No, yeah, okay, this all makes sense. Yeah, the game was over as soon as I Dragon Danced. Alright, cool. But I get a nice clean sweep with Salamence because, again, I won the 60-40. I made a really big read on Vaporeon that I completely forgot I made that huge read on. And we just hope we don't have to fight Corey again. Spoiler alert, we're going to have to. But the other side of winners, here we go. We got Will versus Matt. And not a great start for Slowbro. That Thunderbolt does 55, and all he does is slow it down the next turn. God, I hate the Regice the monster. It's more just like people and leaving their water types in on Regice, like they don't know Mr. Squidward. But Dusclops doing a great job of getting his HP back. A little bit of a shame this Dusclops actually can't do anything to Regice because Shadow Ball does about 20 and he has Memento, which literally doesn't work. So we're just kind of chilling here. Matt willing to just go more off aggressive, realizing what this Dusclops has, he goes into Raikou and says, I can get a free sub here. Even if the Shadow Ball does break, which it does, which is actually impressive. Good job by Will to EV that in. He was thinking, what if he gets paralyzed? Then I get a free switch. But deciding to take a little bit slower after realizing it breaks sub, gets his guaranteed spikes, and starts playing out the old reliable game plan. Speaking of old reliable, here's Regice again. Pretty much walling anything Slowbro wants to do. God, that Ice Beam does so much of those Dusclops. That's a bulky Mon in Gen 3, guys. I need you to know. Another 33 coming in with the Ice Beam here, and he gets some HP back. It's not a lot. Skarmory coming back. Let's see. Do we see the Shadow Ball do about 8? Yep. Thank you, Dusclops. You are a little too passive. We do get the Zapdos in, which is a nice time to get him in. Especially because, like... Ooh, he T-Volted. Oh, man. Oh, he Earthquakes! Oh, so we see Matt does not know if this thing has HP Ice yet. Thinking it has HP Grass for the Swamperts and Omastars in the world. Losing his Flygon immediately. Really, actually, I'm pretty sure that HP Ice was for Ments earlier in bracket with Drew. So, Will tries to kill himself, which apparently in Gen 3, Clear Body does let you kill yourself, but it is very funny. Just to get everyone to miss a Rock Slide. So a little bad luck on that one, because these Rock Slides could be doing a lot. After all, Skarmory doesn't have Toxic, it only has Drill Peck. So, with enough flinches over time, you're going to be sitting pretty. And we do get the Whirlwind, or in this case, the Roar out to Slowbro, which, hey, say hey, everybody. Hi, Regice. And Will actually doubles into Nidoking, which is pretty cool. But I'm not sure this is the double you want versus Regice, because that Earthquake does less than, oh my god, less than a 2-shot. It's a 3-shot. He dies to Ice Beam. But everything is starting to break down a little bit. As I say that, here comes Vaporeon, which, honestly, with enough flinches, this could go Will's way. That Aerodactyl is starting to break down things. But the Wish comes in, and I bet I know who's receiving this. Everybody say hi, Regice. Hello. So Will finally revealing he is actually a Calm Mind variant. The dudes have decided they want to hang out and be big. but it's not big enough. That Thunderbolt's doing a lot. He's going to get the +3. He's going to try his best here, and he does get it. He gets the Paralyze. And then Will goes insane and goes to +4. Now that's a little greedy, don't you guys? Let's see, 54? Wait, if he low rolls this, if he low rolled that actually mattered. But once again, we see Regice at 50 again. Like it didn't even matter. But finally, the win con Ursaring comes in, and nope, see you later, Ursaring. That is Mischievous. But unlike most standard Mischievous sets, this one isn't built to deal with Ursaring. So that T-Bolt's doing pretty much nothing, and Rock Slide is going to do 71, so... Granted, it's not too bad, because you just drop a few T-Bolts and Mischievous here as Matt. You get a really, really easy Raikou cleanup from here. Like, you're only worried about Aerodactyl coming in afterwards, really. And then just, like, figuring out what he's going to lock into, which he locks into Earthquake! Oh my goodness! That's crazy. Crazy on Matt for letting Raikou take that. But, like, it makes sense. Like, he should lock into Rock Slide. Will playing a very good game one, but now he has to get lucky, and he does. Oh, he would have lost the game on the spot there if that Ice Beam hit. But he misses Rock Slide again! My brother in Christ, hit your Rock Slide. And then Will pivots Zapdos in just to get roared out. So Skarmory getting a lot of lefties here. Gets the Protect Scout, which is, good play. Gets another Protect. This is the fun part of Skarmory's market. Just get that lefties back. There's only 2 knockoff Mons, and they're on the wrong side of brackets. So, like, there you go. You don't have to worry about it. Does he get lucky? Oh, he does because he lives. And that's actually the whole game there. The fact that Ice Beam didn't kill, which is really, really impressive by Zapdos. So good for him. We're going to see Regice attempt to cycle through lefties recovery here. But he gets crit, which I don't know if it mattered. It could have been a range. I don't think it was at that point. But Zapdos actually proving how very, very valuable it is. Will proving, with a little bit of luck on his side in terms of paralysis, can do this. So we'll start off with game 2. Really, really, really tough lead, but Matt actually leaves to avoid getting T-Wave, which is interesting. I guess he didn't like the other one. And then gives Toxic to Ursaring. We see Guts Ursaring about to rip and tear. Drop a Rock Slide right here. Oh no, he wants to really kill someone. All right. Oh, Parasong. Oh, and he misses. Oh, a little bad luck there. Oh, that's a shame. The toxic damage now really going to start racking up. Not that, like, Mischievous is doing a whole lot, but, like, it would have been nice to have that thing dead to spam normal type moves later with your, Guts Ursaring. Anyways, here's a... Wow, special defense drop. Yippee! So you got a pretty safe switch here for... Oh my god, Will's game 2 is not starting off too hot. A lot of misses. I mean, it is 75% accurate, so what are you going to do? He was trying to hit Willow. And then I think this is something a lot of players have been doing lately. They've kind of faulted to... They try their setup moves after failing a little bit too early in the match. They just try to let it rip, but they need to regain some wall breaking capabilities before they can do that. Because, like, look at that. That's Guts Ursaring. It's still only doing 34 with those Rock Slides. Like, that's not enough. It's doing the same amount in return. But willing to deal the damage actually gets a little rewarded for it. Not the best switch in he could have asked for, but Calm Mind Slowbro is not bad. T-Wave's Vaporeon, pretty cool. Oh, gets it, gets lucky. How many Calm Minds do you think he's going to try and get away with? Oh my god, now he's getting really lucky. It's starting to bounce back in his favor, but it's really not, man. Slowbro does not have that offensive capabilities. And Matt getting a great switch in. Oh, and it goes to Mischievous. Okay. I'm not really willing to bring in Regice here because he knows that Will is going to be hitting T-Wave, and I respect that. That's some good knowledge right there. We see Toxic again, and Will just sacking Ursaring. Actually, not sacking Ursaring yet. It'll be sacked here after revealing that Flygon is not banded with Toxic. And once again, Will doing the baton pass to Arrow. I love that play. But, like, what's he going to do? This Rock Slide to Flygon does actually a pretty respectable 35. That's more than I thought it would do. And this should be a pretty free Toxic. Ooh, Earthquake? Okay, all right. It's a 50-50 there from Matt's part. He played it safe. But there's the Earthquake. I don't know why Will stayed in. I'm going to be real. Maybe he thought he was faster. Maybe he thought it was defensive Flygon. But it's always tough making those plays with your with both your wall breakers out. You're basically solely relying on Aerodactyl here. And the fastest Dusclops known to man is now slow. That's always fun to see. And yeah, I don't particularly think Will has a way out of this one. Those walls are too high. Flagon's alive. Still the biggest reason Matt lost game 1 is that Flagon died, I think. And now we see the wish into Raikou, and wow, Raikou, yeah. Yeah, this is what happens when you know, ruin your game plan just a little too early. Like, as long as no one gets egregiously unlucky here, like, this should be a Raikou, or this should be a Matt sweep. There's almost no reason it shouldn't be. Unless Aerodactyl hits like 16 flinches in a row. Double edges for 20, that's not doing it. Oh, but he sends it again. All right, you know what? Okay. My guy gets it. I probably wishes he went to Zapdos there over Slowbro. But hey, second sweeper. Finally gets the paralysis on Skarm, which I guess let's go. I don't know. It's kind of funny. He's shuffling Will between his Spike Immune Pokemon and the guy that wants to be in anyways. But Zapdos, the agility set just isn't it. If this was like Toxic Zapdos right here in this set, I think he could have actually just won the game on the spot. Like against this like Regice, like, you know, making it a much harder game for Matt to decide when to pivot in against Zapdos with his combination of Raikou, Vaporeon, and Regice. But the agility sweep, you know, mattered so much in the other sets. And right now we're about to see if Aerodactyl is that guy, and he's finally getting the first kill off the board. Does he stay at an attempt to get the second? No, just pivots to Zapdos. Zapdos eats the Rock Slide, which, you know, to be fair, is the only move you can really hit anyways. And it's a 2-shot if it hits. Kind of crazy. Zapdos is not able to survive that. And now it's just, how many Rock Slides can you flinch, Will? What do you got? 1? He's going to need at least, I don't even think he has enough to do it. 12? I'm not even sure that's enough HP to do it, yeah. This game is over. He does not have enough PP. He is toxic. Well, maybe if he crit every single one of them, you know, crit flinched. But Matt cleaned this one up. Really, really good usage of his defensive walls. After game 1, like, did not pretty much let nobody take anything they shouldn't. So, a really, really dominating performance game 2. And we're moving on to game 3. We'll see if Will has enough in the tank, because he kind of like gave up all of his gimmicks in that game 1. I don't think there's anything left hiding on this team. Least importantly, this Dusclops literally can't do anything. It can paint split, it can wall, but it's it's a little too passive for this matchup. But the burn on Skarmory is honestly really nice. Matt does get 2 layers of spikes up, which is really, really good for later. Getting that up on turn 5 is definitely nice. Will calling out Double Edge. Wow, gets Flagon in there. Does he switch? No, he just lets Misdreavus in. Misdreavus not the scariest threat in the game, so I get it. David called it a Scheist Double Edge. Indubitably. All right, well. We're going to see Flagon attempt to get back to full, but nope, just goes to Regice. Much safer play. And we see the slowest, fastest Slowbro known to man yet again. I like how all these speed, like, the agilities are basically just wasted. He should just be baton passing if he wants to do that, I think. But, you know, he's trying to play it right. Now he has to, let's say Will is playing a scary game with this Raikou. He needs to not get paralyzed. Because if he gets paralyzed, he's officially lost his Slowbro. And he doesn't even get the sub. He gets double parried. Oh, horrible hacks. That is 2 Mons dead now. On the spot. 2 Mons have to die to get rid of this Raikou. I'm pretty sure this Dusclops actually just dies in 2 shots. Let's find out. Ooh, he's just the death enough. He could stay in, though. Like, he almost has no reason not to. Yeah, sub up again. Shadow Ball, you have to Shadow Ball. Because as much as you want to Pain Split, you do need... If you let this thing behind a sub, it's 2 more guys that die. Yeah, you can't even do that. No, you just have to... You have to make sure he never gets the sub up, so Aerodactyl can basically always come in and force it out later. But both Dusclops and Slowbro having to die to take out... To even just get Raikou down to mid%, which can just be Wish Pass back, is very, very good, even if it is Will's... maybe one of Will's least important Pokemon, but it still is big. Sends a Nidoking? Oh, that's curious. Still scares him out, though. The Mega Horn does 23. Not sure I would have locked into that. But then again, he doesn't have to. He can switch moves. And we're seeing Nidoking do what it's not really supposed to be doing, which is fighting the levitating Mon. And then goes for a Mega Horn. It's just, nah. Oh, actually the first time we've seen Psychic, so maybe that's why he was staying in. And now he's just fishing for a freeze and doesn't get it and loses his, honestly, probably his win con. I think if he does have the Nidoking, he can potentially win it versus, you know, if Red Ice gets low enough. Thanks to Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, and Earthquake, which is fantastic coverage. So Mischievous actually putting a lot of work on his back. Now surviving the Thunderbolt and critting back. Poor Will, he's in a bad spot. Way too much damage done by the special attackers there. We see Aerodactyl come in, and it's got to hits double edge. You know what? I respect that. It's a lot of damage. Does he get the 2-hit? No, he decides to play it safe, goes Earth String. And actually eats the boom. Yeah, okay. All right. So we're going to have to hope on a prayer for Aerodactyl here for Will. He's actually in an okay spot. He has to lock into Rock Slide or Double Edge, though, and does lock into Slide for the flinches. Skarmory will not be able to take 2 thanks to the burn, but he'll force him to PP stall, which I love that. I love the idea behind that. But he used to protect a bunch. Oh, doesn't even try for the double. It would have been fun to get the double, though. And then now we see Flagon, who, you know what? He would have tanked 1, but not getting hit at all is just, that's effectively the game here. Because even if you get crit, you're on a timer. He doesn't get the flinch on the second one. Like, if that was the first one, the flinch actually could have been a game. But now you get a really, really nice Vaporeon here, and you just surf it up, and you're done for the day. Yeah, 38. Nah, you can take those. So. Great play by Matt getting Mischievous in game 2 and just not letting Will. Punishing Will for his a little too passive Mons in the front here with Slowbro and Dusclops. Just a little not good enough in this matchup. So, Aerodingus strikes again. Will drops to losers, which we'll get to him later. Because for now, we're actually going to go to the other side of losers, and we're going to see Hall versus Corey, which is the double Doug match. So we're going to have 2 Doug trios just looking at each other. And because of that, they all need to be kind of careful. Right now, all 3 Mons that are here don't really care too much. And honestly, Weezing does not care at all about Hariyama, especially because this is the Hall's version, which is not the Guts one. So Celebi gets burned, which is what it is. It'll remove that later. We do see straight to Weezing. A little double here by... They both look to try and sack somebody. Maybe to eat the Ice Beam. But oh my god, that Sludge Bomb crit. See you later, Celebi. That's huge. Celebi being gone is actually massive for Hall. Gets a spike up for his troubles, though, but it should just be... he probably can just spin it away. Corey having trouble getting his... really anything going right here. He does have a spike, and he makes a really nice read there with HP Grass. HP Grass on a Weezing while being burned is a mood. Ooh, Hall roars. I don't like that. I think you just, if you're willing to stay in and take another HP Grass, you just deal damage, you know? Or you spin away the spike. You do one of the two. We get Jolteon in finally, and Jolteon's in a really prime position here because it's the only electric type that's faster and can't get trapped by Doug. So Corey's not even willing to switch in. Oh my god, he gets crit with the T-Ball. That definitely, that 100% mattered. And then Corey goes for the double in the vape, but I don't know. Jinx is still here, you know? And honestly, though, Jinx one of the Mons that gets trapped by Doug pretty easily, so got to keep your eyes out for that. That's why I think he's going back to Jolteon here, not just for the T-Bolt, but... Tim taking an absolutely crazy amount of damage. I'm not entirely sure Corey's game plan here. I think he knows it's over. I think Jolteon does just clean this up. He has one chance with this Dragonite, especially because the Jolteon does not have HP Ice. Double dances and gets boomed for it, and it does actually boom him that turn instead of Willow. They both send in their guys. The trio actually looking really good, except we see HP Grass just kill. Which is really important, because if that didn't kill, I think Earthquake just cleans. Trying to remember who's back here, but I mean, it can't have been anything too crazy. The both walls are dead. Oh, it's so yeah, you would have had to bet on a speed tie with the opposing Doug Trio. But honestly, like looking more at Hall's team, if Corey does get the Doug Trio in after the walls are dead, Jolteon gets paralyzed by anything really. Boom, boom, boom. The last three just get eaten alive. Whereas Corey's team is a little bit better versus Doug Trio for sure. So Hall's Doug Trio a little less important. Maybe could be used to trap this Hariyama though later on, or this Omastar. And Omastar taking nothing from the Sludge Bomb, doesn't get poisoned. We all love to see that. And Corey with a nice early game spike into T-Bolt. Hariyama taking 38 from a T-Bolt is actually a lot. Like, you got to respect that number. Does Whirlwind in a really, really good mon for him, so he's just going to, get some free damage with Cross Chop. Weezing does not have leftovers, so Weezing's on a little bit of a timer here. Looks like Hall fishing for big damage / poison again. Doesn't get any of it. Willow's the Omastar, but stays in it's HP Electric, not HP Grass. Look at me not knowing that either. So he goes right into Jolteon, thinking he can get the second HP Electric, but Hall, Corey making a great switch and actually having something really scary here for Hall. This Celebi, except it misses the Leech Seeds, so yeah. But knowing that there is no Pursuit on this Houndoom, Celebi's pretty safe to switch in and out. Should have no reasons not to. And with the Wish Vaporeon, we're actually going to see quite a lot of bulk coming in. And we actually get a really good, just raw BP into Doug. See you later, Jinx. If that Rock Slide hits, it's over. And now we have the Doug versus Doug, which, hey, I respect that. That's one way to get rid of your monster. But now Corey can do the Salamence thing and DD up, but he decides he doesn't want that yet. He needs to be able to two-shot this Weezing. Goes for Thunder, gets away with it. Wow. I'm not even sure why he did that. Was he trying to call out Blastoise? He's crazy. What if he missed? But lives the HP Ice. And now Dragonite is a problem. This thing goes hard, but it is slower than Houndoom, so he will have to sack it, sadly. But DD Dragonite about to be the craziest guy on the field in Game 3, because this should be a pretty easy cleanup for Hall. A couple cross chops, if they hit, of course, they got to hit. With the power of Celebi and Wish Pass, it's pretty Jover. So Houndoom's coming back. Houndoom's going to take a lead cheat because Hall knows he can't be, or Corey knows he cannot be hitting Giga Drain right now or anything really. So he knows he's got to be very, very careful with what moves he hits with Celebi until Houndoom is dead. We get the roar into Hariyama. Goes for the freeze. Maybe just attempt to get Celebi on the switch, but losing lefties as Blastoise is basically a death sentence here. And it's kind of like the problem with when you look at the thick fat plus the water type that can absorb plus the grass type that can kill you. Yeah, it's a slow and painful end here. Unless he gets like extremely lucky freezes or something. Hey, it's 10% is 10%, So right now we're gonna put this game on fast because this one does rapid spin off the seed, which is nice. But Corey willing to just stall this one out in a good way, not in a bad way, of course. Gets a little wish up, boom, HP. And Houndoom and Dugtree are not guys that can handle Vaporeon super easily, so Vaporeon's just going to hit 2 surfs. Unless he gets a crit here. Decides to just not even try, because why not? You got a 70% Celebi in the back. Can't deal with that. So, moving on to Game 3. We have a raw baton pass into Weezing yet again. We're seeing the same start every game. I can respect it. Now, does he Sludge Bomb again? He goes for the Willow. It's safe for that time, but misses. Sad. Ooh, misses again. Extra sad. Oh my god, that starts a 2-shot? Wow. Jinx, you gotta do better. So Jinx in here hitting Lovely Kiss, able to get himself above a Surf 2-shot, which is nice, but kinda can't stay in thanks to Doug Trio later on. So Spike is up, Sleep has been set, and Weezing can't really do anything now. Even though he comes in, right? Like, what's he going to do to Omastar? In fact, Hall just calls him out. Whirlwind's in his best switch in here. Houndoom, wow. Really, really good for Corey. And he's going to keep doing it. He's going to keep doing it until he gets a matchup, because the lefty's recovery. Hariyama just went from, like, 60 to 80. And a third time, he's still doing it. Absolutely brutal. You gotta just slam it, right? But you can't. You're gonna get earthquaked. Oh, okay, that time he gets him. Good. But Corey keeps getting the guys he wants in. Granted, there's only one layer of spike, so the chip damage wasn't great, but he got exactly what he needed. And here comes Hall, kind of realizing that Jinx is not the one this week in this matchup. But that Ice Beam still does 35. And Leech Seed is there. It's the PNG Leech Seed. Burning the Sleep turns 2. Like, honestly, little surprised that, yeah, I'm like, Hall's thinking that he's going to go Celebi. Because, like, why hasn't Corey gone Celebi into Jolteon yet? Like, it's pretty good. It's really good into it. Unless he just expects a baton pass into Houndoom. But, again, you don't care about Houndoom. He doesn't have Pursuit, you don't care. So finally we get the water type versus water type matchup. And this is one sleepy Omastar. My goodness. That is max sleep. I do not know if that rapid spin is what I would do here, because here comes another spike. Anyways, Omastar all the way back up to full HP. Actually playing it safe, going into Celebi. Alright, I like it. Here comes Houndoom to miss Leech Seed again. Man, Corey's Leech Seed luck this set hasn't been the greatest. He hasn't needed it because, again, Houndoom's not doing enough damage to his team. He pretty much forever walls it unless he gets, like, ridiculously crit. And I like the sub there. That was a cool sub. Both to scout Dugtrio Baton Pass and to scout Surf. I'm not sure. I guess that Hidden Power Grass had to have been his best move, thanks to Thick Fat. Hariyama really starting to get low. Misses again on the Willow. Oh, man. Like, it's not even that bad. It's a shame, you know? You want that leftovers recovery gone. You're not getting him. Ooh, Hall with a great HP electric read there. Spinning away the one. This Blastoise is not the... If there was a Willow on here, you can get away with doing this, but there's no Willow on this Omastar. Like, you're just sacking your Blastoise for no reason. Oh, it gets, like, absolutely gets a dude he doesn't want to see in here now. Has to go to Jinx. Pretty much dies to Giga Drain, or... I guess take the seed again, yeah. Now, do you Psychic here? Nah, you can't Kiss. You just gotta slam damage. You're dead on entry. Right, now you got Ice Beam. Yeah, good Ice Beam. Like that. Oh, wow! Celebi has 1% to play with here, so he's forced to go back to Hariyama to sack it. That's kind of unfortunate for Corey. But, all that's going to happen is, like, okay, Houndoom's going to come in. Oh, he sends in Dugtrio to trap with HP Bug. You know what? That's fine. But now the other Dugtrio comes in. So, you know, it's kind of funny. And this time, Corey's Dugtrio wins the speed tie, so not even chip on it. And now Corey's in a really interesting position here because... Oh, except he's not, because that Hidden Power Ice is not strong enough. Hall should have known. Actually, yeah, he should have done it safe, and he should have probably gone to Weezing first. Because you need that Jolteon later for both Vaporeon and Dragonite in the back. Like... You can't sack it on that roll. Like, I think we've played enough of Gen 3 to know that that's not a real roll. Like, that is like a 2% chance if you're modest or something. You can't be modest because then you're slower. I don't know. Like, you need a layer of spikes up is what you need, and this team is not running any spikes. So, all of a sudden, pretty much instantly loses to Omastar. Oh, but he has HP Grass. Okay. All right. Well, now he's got to send in Vape because he can't EQ with Doug yet. All staying in. Yeah, no, Vape's just safer in general. You can spam Surf 3 times. You can win the game here. Crit would not have mattered. Would not have killed. And now you have one Weezing versus the world, and, like, it's not the end of the world, but the Surf is going to do way too much, so it is. So Vaporeon showing off why it's one of the best mons here. Why, you know, it's certainly winning its way up the ladder right now. Wish and Surf, very good. And Corey bringing his team around, getting that nice win back, showing off the power of Dugtrio into a pretty particularly Dugtrio's weak team in terms of, like, offensive sweepers. Like, it does have the Weezing and the Jolt, but, you know, Jolteon can't one-shot it. We saw that. And Weezing, well, you got a lot of answers to Weezing, luckily, on this team. Although he is decently scary if Omastar went down. So, but good play by Corey, good play by Hall. It was a good set for both. Now, we get the other side of losers here with Triple and Will. And we see it's a Gen 3 suspect test happen when the set happened, which is pretty funny. I don't actually know if they banned Speed Pass or not. Probably they did. A little sad by that. But starting off the bat, we got Will has a great lead in this matchup compared to his last set. And but here we see Arcanine at +2 attack, which is kind of funny because he can't use it right now. And Will's still going for Willow. I'm not entirely sure what he's thinking here. He knew this Arcanine has a sub. Like, it is sub Arcanine. So you just have to keep hitting Shadow Ball. Does not break either. Oh, that's rough because the Intimidates, yeah. But there's worse mons to be locked in with. Pressure Dust Clouds with Pain Split here may actually stall out all those Fire Blasts. Decides to just go to Slowbro, though. I don't know. I would have really enjoyed seeing if he could have stalled out the Fire Blast. But probably couldn't because you can't Pain Split the sub. We see HP Grass do only 32. But Arcanine's, I think, earning his paycheck right now for sure. Wow, going Hariyama versus Slowbro is a move because this thing should have Psychic and should just delete you. We'll find out. Oh, it doesn't. Maybe he doesn't. Oh, he does. He just didn't click it. There it is. But now this is the Guts one. Oh, he gets away with it. Both teams have paralyzed JT's Gutsmon and gotten away with it. That's wild. And one of these days, Slowbro will carry Flamethrower and beat Scizor Trust. And Will letting Scizor get a little too scary in my opinion here. What if he passes that to like, well, Hariyama's a play, I guess, because you don't want to get Willowed, right? What if he went back to like, oh, he went back to him. Oh, that's crazy. He needs to make use of that immediately. Really? I don't know. The Metoing at 87 is a mood. But he did get the dude off the board, so hey, yeah, good for him. Does JT get a paralyze or get a flinch? He doesn't, but he does get the 3-shot if he hits, and he hits all of them. A little crit for no good reason. Now we have the Aerodactyl Ditto, and JT does not want to play that, so Will smartly actually goes for Double Edge, but doesn't do a whole lot to Swampert. A little T-Wave here on Scizor. Okay, good. But has to go Zapdos to avoid the Silver Wind, probably. And this Zapdos doesn't have Roar because it's an agility set, so without any phasing ability on Will's team, Scizor is just a problem and a half. He basically has to hope that he can get Ursaring in here and take 2 hits, but I'm telling you right now, he's not taking 2 hits. Scizor's just going to eat this team alive. So he attempts to fish for the parry here. You know what? I have no qualms with that. You have to sack 2 mons if you lose, but you're already on the back foot, right? Like, you got to make the magic happen. Instead, we're just going to watch Scizor sweep. I'm pretty sure Aerodactyl can kill him with a Rock Slide, and I'm pretty sure JT lets it happen. Yeah, the crit might have mattered, honestly. But, because of the Rock Slide, you go Swampert, and you get a very nice, probably Earthquake here, so it goes get Boot Tops, okay. So many SD sweepers on JT's team, it's kind of funny. SD. The baton passing to the dudes that want the SD, Every dude would like the baton pass of the SD on Scizor, which is actually like pretty cool team design. I gotta say it's nice. But now Aerodactyl locks into Rock Slide or Double Edge. Will's Aerodactyl actually can lock into Double Edge here. I think he could have gotten away with it maybe, if he got really really lucky. But he's gonna fish for the flinches instead. First, he has to see if he outspeeds. He does not. Loses the 50-50, and we don't even have to think about the Swampert percents later. So JT with a nice. He should have been fine that game. It would have been a nice end game there for sure. Will actually almost had a chance though. We're going to start off with a nice leads yet again. We're going to see knockoff. Are we going to see Psychic turn 1? Or are we going to see T-Wave again? We're going to see Psychic here and do 57. It's good. It's good damage. And with the Spadef drop, you actually can just hit Surf. But Will decides to play a little more aggressive and hits Calm Mind, I guess. But doesn't 2-shot Spadef Scissor. In fact, might not even 3-shot. It's crazy. And is forced to switch due to SD / Silver Wind boosts. And then Raw Baton passes the Nidoking, which is like, oh, Scizor's getting dangerous again, right? Oh, but he gets away with one. Because he crits that Earthquake, and somewhere JT very sad about that one. But a little less sad after seeing that Rock Slide damage, I'm sure. That's a lot of damage on that. And instead of healing, all his health, goes into Hariyama and gets a really nice, basically no damage to him either. But Slowbro now with Scizor gone, I think Slowbro just rocks. Like, you can HP Ghost that all you want, you're going to die. Because I like that T-Wave play. You should be able to one-shot with Psychic here. Oh, you don't? Never mind. I hate the play. I hate everything about it. But Hariyama's effectively dead, so you're not concerned with it. You can get a T-Bolt here. Slowbro, probably wasn't going to just get revenge killed later in the match anyways, but would have been nice to sack to something instead of having it die there. And once again, Will sacking his Nidoking too early, in my opinion. It's his only real good rock resist, so I feel like he didn't have to do that. And then he tries for the 50-50, doesn't get it, and now all of a sudden, like, all the momentum he gained early on by killing Scissor has kind of gone away, and then kills it! Oh my god, he's doing it all. He's sending it all in the final play here. Wow, that is awesome. I hope it works. Sometimes you have to know your only way out. Like, I think that probably wasn't his plan, but once Arrow died, he pivoted it to the plan, which I like that. Unfortunately for him, this Swampert does no Roar. So all that speed boosting he's attempting to get, and even this attack boost here, like, it's not gonna matter. If this Swampert... Oh, he even lives there. Wow. Yeah, and then you'll notice that the Zapdos, you'll notice from earlier sets that it does not have HP Grass. So it can't... He has HP Ice, but he does need to Agility up here. So you need to get the Swampert down, first of all. And does the HP Ice kill? It does. I don't think that crit mattered. And now there is a E-Speed coming for him, so he actually needs to get the Paralysis with this T-Bolt. And if he doesn't, he's lost, and he doesn't. So that is, unless it's a really bad E-Speed roll, which it shouldn't be. Yep, and that is the whole game. So good job, JT, on cleaning up this one. Will, I think just played that mid-game pretty badly. Like, just, I think maybe he thought he could live better with the Nidoking. But, like, once the Scissor was dead, JT cleaned it up nicely, and it's a little bit of a shame, because I wanted to see more of Will's team, because I think this team does have some gas. It obviously has a flaw with no hazing, but, like, you can't fit everything on one team. But really, JT's been making an awesome losers run. I gotta say, I love watching it right now. So because of that, we're gonna watch his next set, which is the losers semi-final set right now between Corey and Triple. They've been working their way through losers. Triple a little bit further. This is actually a rematch of winners round 2, because that's how bracket played out. Because of course it was. Of course they played each other round 1. Am I right, guys? So they're doing the Hariyama trade again. Let's take 1 second to take a sip of water. And we once again see Arcanine not really do a whole lot to Hariyama. All right, now Corey's been really hasn't had to do a whole lot. His dudes are at high HP. He's got his spike up. Not that JT's team's in too much danger either, but hey, early spikes are early spikes. And there's a huge cross-shot crit on Celebi. It won't matter because Leech Seed's about to get all his HP back. No, JT, you got to get out of there. You can't let yourself take all that HP back. So here comes Aerodactyl to eat a Psychic and die. Oh my god, it's dead. That's the whole game, I think. Like, I think right there, like, of course the crit matters, right? Like, he wouldn't die if it wasn't a crit. And even if you get Leech Seed, you're going to throw off a big, like, HP flying or whatever. But to lose it on turn 9 against this team, that's awful. That's unfortunate. And now we actually see Triple going for a really good E-Speed play here because it's so especially defensive. You might as well just send it out. And here's Scissor to Baton Pass back to Arcanine to get another Intimidate drop, but this spike is really starting to add up to Arcanine. And even Kabutops comes in too early. Here's a Swords Dance. No, it's not. It's just rolling it again. And this is kind of JT's problem. If he doesn't get this Hariyama out of the way, thing's just going to roll in him forever. There's too many subs and too many setups, and he tried to do it here, but he missed the pump. Getting a little bit of revenge luck back in terms of that Hydro Pump. Corey surprisingly letting the Hariyama die is not what I would have expected. Maybe he thinks he has enough momentum. But with Celebi left and with Aerodactyl dead, JT had to make a decision. Would he Giga Drain this turn, or would he use HP Fire or Psychic instead? And he expected a read, didn't get it, and lost his Swampert. So, it's tough. He had nothing left that could actually... He really doesn't even have anything on this team that can take Celebi down, if I'm being honest. The more I look at it. Like, Celebi goobs this team unless Arcanine's at high HP. Arcanine's, like, at 40, so now all of a sudden, what are you going to do? We see Vaporeon's actually faster than Hariyama. Decides not to just stay in, though. Decides to go safely into Celebi, who, hey, loses leftovers. You'll take that. That certainly helps. But it's just another one down. Another one. DJ Khaled. Has to go Arcanine, But now Corey's going to do the thing where he's got really, really good Fire Grass resists just hanging out together, that HP grass is not enough. Fellas, we need more set tiles in our lives or something. I don't know. We need more grass types that we didn't draft. I don't think there's another one that we didn't draft, if I'm being honest. Ernest needs to bring his Shiftry into playoffs or something. But here's Silverwind doing a lot of damage, actually. The Scissor's really starting to rack it up. But this Hidden Power Fire is easily going to clean up the Scissor. I mean, I'm pretty sure at this point JT knew he had it after watching his set against me. Just knowing that it would hit Celebi. But that it would have, it was hitting Jirachi with that. But here we go. The smart Leech Seed and the Giga Drain just to avoid the Endure. Not that I think the Endure would have mattered at all. I don't think Endure flails winning this set with these dudes left in the back. But Corey really cleanly, like as soon as Aerodactyl went down, just completely swept up JT's team. So JT's going to have to really figure out what his game plan is, because he can't do the same thing again. He's not winning that long war against Corey. So they're both going to knock. Ooh, actually, Corey's going to chop and gets a lot of damage off of it, actually. That was a pretty high roll. Are we going to see another chop here? We are. 20% Celebi. Is what it is. I think you can really tell the difference between teams that have a Spiker Seeder versus teams that don't have a Spiker or a Seeder. Like, the passive damage is just so massive. So here's a Double Edge doing 46. You're like, wow, that's so much damage. But, like, okay, that Vaporeon's at 70. You're also at 70. And now it's just going to heal everything back. Scissor coming in and being pretty aggressive with this SD. Let's see who it goes to. It goes to Celebi. Now, chat. Will it kill? Of course it'll kill. I'm very shocked that Corey let that thing rip that early. But you know what? Gets to use Dugtrio. All good. Aerodactyl gets a pretty safe Earthquake here, I think. Yeah. Dragonite's the only thing that can come in on it. Dragonite's a pretty risky switch in. Does it here. Let's see. Does JT make a double? No, he decides to just play it safe, I guess. HP flying from Dragonite doing about 30 to Swampert. Comes in with 25 after lefties, and Ice Beams, the Vaporeon does not get frozen. Swampert's actually in a really weird spot with these two. Ooh, a Roar. Okay, alright, so he's got to Ice Beam him again, and Vaporeon will get his health back, but Earthquakes and, like... See, because you can make the Earthquake read. It's funny, you can make the Earthquake read, and you only get 6% out of it. If you're right, thanks to the Wish Pass. But Swampert actually can't win this 1v1. He needs to leave. And JT realizing that too. It just does not beat Vaporeon, especially this one. And we see the Hariyamas hanging out with each other again, and Knockoff doing 0% in the chat. Now that is something it's pretty funny. You don't see that anymore. But a huge crit on Corey's Hariyama, and all of a sudden, this thing's gone. And the Whirlwinder, the guy that was getting in the way of the setup sweepers, is gone. We see Knockoff on D-Knight. We see his lefty's not willing to sack Hariyama, although I really don't know if that Rock Slide would have killed. But hey, here comes Aerodactyl to miss a Rock Slide for you instead. A little bad. JT's Aerodactyl luck has been pretty rough this set. He's going to need to hope he can get it back. Ooh, we see that Omastar is faster than Swampert, so Swampert literally just came in to die. That's not good. That's not what you want to see. Now, here's a cool call-out, guys. So, Arcanine subs here versus the Omastar, right? But, like, Dragonite's still here. You can't be subbing. I don't know. Like, this Dragonite's a problem. So you gotta go. He goes Kabutops, gets HP flying for his troubles. And Rock Slide from Kabutops actually really good in this spot right here. You kind of just want to let it rip over and over again. Goes for the SD. Does he get away with it? He does. Oh my god, he gets put into Slack range too. That's the whole game. If he hits his Rock Slides. One? Never mind. Oh, never mind. He got away with it. I really expected a +2 to do more than 46. But JT getting the exact luck he needs at the end of the set here. Should be able to clean up with Aerodactyl. The Flail doing 77. Oh, guys, bring your Steel types, please. You know, if you have one. But now Double Edge from Aerodactyl wins, and the trio, you know, he's not living that. You check anyways, you might as well see, right? Granted, Doug Trio with Rock Slide might have actually won the set if he somehow lived that Double Edge, right? But JT doing a lot better in game 2. As soon as Celebi went down, the game got a lot easier. The grass resist gone, you know? Keep it going. So once again, hitting Knockoff turn 1 for the, 12th game in a row. Corey missing a cross chop is really bad momentum-wise. And then gets crit too! Wow! Oh my goodness gracious. Does he HP Ghost here? Because I think I would, yeah. It's like not, it's okay. Like, you know, you're not making the celery, you're just taking the safe, guaranteed damage if you're going to run HP Ghost there. But Corey doing what he needs to do pretty much every single time he looks at JT's team, which is get Celebi and hit Leech Seed. There's nothing that can take that. Nice HP Grass to try and call out Omastar. Like, Arcanine's in a terrible spot until this Dragonite's dead, is really what it comes down to. And speaking of Omastar, here he is, taking about, what, 20? 27. Question is, do you SD here? Oh, he doesn't. He goes to Ariana. This is a fun SD. Corey's doing a cool Ice Beam there, though. I like that. We knock off Dragonite's lefties, which might matter later. Decides doesn't want to play the HP Flying game. Doesn't. Now, Corey does have Thunder, but doesn't show it. Instead, sacks Hariyama to see what move he locks into, which I like. That Hariyama, you know, didn't have a good start of the day. At least let him do something, right? Gets a spike up a little bit later this set than he did before on turn 13 or turn 12. And Cross Chop doing 31. Wow, is this Rock Slide going to kill? I hope it hits. But doesn't kill. It doesn't kill! Uh-oh, Dragonite. Ruh-roh, Raggy. But you have E-Speed Arcanine who can both drop the Intimidate and, you know, make sure you don't auto-lose to DD Knight, which is nice. Wow, gets a huge HP Grass on Vaporeon, but it literally does not matter. Oh, and he's staying in because he doesn't have a Water Resist anymore. Oh, no. Oh, that's brutal. He's got to get out. He needs his Arcanine alive for Omastar because it's the only thing that carries a Grass move. But he sacks it here. I'm really questioning if that's right. Goes for the Rock Slide flinch, and honestly, that is his play. It may look silly. He doesn't have another play. SD, yeah, I don't know. That Omastar Surf was doing so much more now. You got a Rock Slide there. Yeah. But Scissors here. Maybe, honestly, looking at who's left, Scissor may be okay. Like, look at that Spadef difference. Oh, gets a huge crit. Does he get a boost? What's that, 7 now, guys? 8 times he's hit Silverwind, no boost? Come on, 9? Boost! Yippee! He got the boost, chat. Everyone make some noise. But is it faster than Dugtrio? I'll tell you right now, it's not, but he does take the hit. Does he kill? Of course he kills. Now, JT wins this game right here if he's faster than Celebi. Let's find out. He is not faster than Celebi. That is too specially defensive. If that was a little faster, I think he won that set right here. Obviously, it would have been a lot worse in other sets, so it's all hindsight. But there was nothing he could do. He just had to hope he was faster. But Corey Celebi, you saw the huge difference. Celebi, all he had to do was stay alive, and this team was way more threatening. So Triple had a heck of a run into losers. Really put on a good show with a team that literally did not have a water resist. I'm still going to say it. No water resist and got 4th. Like, okay, guys, that's some good stuff right there. That's the sign of a good coach. Someone who can play the team like that when they know there's that big of a flaw. But it was awesome to see it go to work. Unfortunately, fell to the Celebine. And we're going to see winners finals pop off here. We only got 3 more sets, guys. Spoiler. We start off with Regice versus Jirachi, and I don't have a good Regice answer. I don't think anybody did. In fact, the only teams that did were like Drew and Adam, maybe. Really just Drew, I think, with Machamp. And he, you know, didn't make it to Matt. So the rest of us have to do things. Matt made a great read and Ice Beamed on Steelix Switch there, which did a ton of damage. So good job on his end there. And my Thunderbolts, because I'm not Calm Mind Jirachi, aren't dealing a whole lot. So it stinks. And now with the Spike Switch, Matt gets an actually really safe Ice Beam here, but we don't know if he ever clicked it. Because of... He goes for T-Wave, yeah, okay. So now my Jirachi's T-Wave, which is terrible for me, because while he can't damage me, I would like to be... I'd like to hit my moves, and when I'm paralyzed like that, it's not going to... You know, look at Regice, he's getting all his HP back. He's so far got a spike up and both 50%s up. Like, I can wish all I want, but this is going to be 3 layers of spikes in, like, no time. So I put Steelix in, even though it's terrible in Discarm, because I'd like that HP back for later for Raikou. This is my Raikou check, obviously. It should be pretty obvious to see that. But now all 3 layers of spikes up on turn 12. I don't have a spinner, so it's a real uphill battle. I Rock Slide Scarm here because I know he only has Drill Peck and Whirlwind, so he's trying to get me out. So I'm feeling pretty safe. But unfortunately, Karibo comes in. You know, he's trying to sack himself a little too early in the match. And I only have Toss as a damaging move, so Skarmory's getting a lot of HP back. Maybe should have ran Knock on this table, but, you know, had to be ready for things. Do get a 2-wave off, so now 2 things are paralyzed. Yippee! Side toss doing another 30%, and he roars me out. And I need Salamence to come in, but I get Steelix. So I needed anything that wasn't Steelix to come in. And everyone say hi, Steelix. We missed the Iron Tail. But we get a little lefties back, so you know, potato. Ooh, missed the Iron Tail again. That's sad. That would have been like actually like 15% maybe. We got a Leech Seed off here, and he does Drill Peck me, but it's actually not that strong of a Drill Peck thanks to the Intimidate. So Ludicolo sitting, I'm going to say okay for now. I should have probably Leech Seed again there. The smart play would have done a double seed there, I think. Just so this couldn't happen, you know. Like, my team's struggling to break through his 2 best walls without any real setup supers that aren't Nents. LeBron's Legacy finally hits the field. Tries a Toxic. I'm a baller, and I get punished for it, so I'm sad. I tried to body slam him right there. Ah, I miss again. Oh, my God. It's only but he gets paralyzed. Not that it matters in that regard. But, I get paralyzed again. Oh, we're both paralyzed. Wow, we cannot move. This, guys, I'm gonna say it right now. We should pick up Blissey and run Heal Bell. Thank you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Stop being scared of running Aromatherapy and Heal Bell Blissey in Gen 3. Just because it's a big fat wall and it looks stupid and walls out everybody. No, you need having a cleric is pretty nice. Even on hyper offense or more aggressive teams, why the heck? Well, why not, right? If you're not running a gut spam team, like just run a cleric if you can. But nobody wanted to pick up Blissey, so we were stuck running these teams. Actually, no, wait, no. I think Jordan had Blissey now I think about it. I don't know if she dropped it. Anyways, it was a long time ago, right? You're going to see how forgetful I am. There was still Chansey. How about that? So Matt gets a Toxic off on Clefable finally, which is really, really good for him, actually, because that's a dude that can stop Raikou. So one of his Raikou threats is now eliminated, basically. So I have to kind of sack it, I think, here. I think I just spam Seismic Toss T-Wave. Like, he can decide whether or not he wants to go Mischievous or just any other wall. Ooh, I'm trying to keep my guy healthy. Okay. All right. Kind of a weird play by me, but all right. Once again, Ludicolo comes in just because this is the one dude on Matt's team that can't deal with it. I get the Leech Seed back. We'll take it, you know. And if anybody should get paralyzed, it's probably him the more I think about it. Like, oh wow, we get lucky there. Like, I'm not sweeping with Ludicolo. He should be here to just spam Leech Seed probably. Look at that 33 in the rain. Now, Matt's getting bad luck here with the double para. It really stinks. But once again, Regice is so good that he can just take these serves. And at this point, I probably should have switched. Once I got him that low, I think I should have switched. Because now he's going to boom. Probably. Let's find out. Nope. Saves it for later. Because I don't have any hazards. So. And now the surf damage is actually coming in for him really, really, really nicely. We get a big para on Vaporeon. Just something nice to have. So we can... Literally the only reason it's nice is so we can wish first. It's not going to be good later when he can baton pass out. But he gets a really good roar here, both blocking my wish and, you know, obviously I went for protect that turn to not get stalled out. But now my best walls are all broken down. And I have to bring in Steelix. He HP grasses. Does not two-shot, but like look at that damage with the doubles with the spikes up. I think I have to hit Iron Tail here. No, I hit Earthquake. I can't auto boost a Raikou on the spot. But I do hit Iron Tail here, and hey, look at that. I was right on the money with the 15, but the defense down's kind of funny. And this is actually a fantastic Dragon Dance turn if I can pull it off. And he goes right to Fly on. He doesn't want it to happen. Because there is a world here where Vaporeon gets para-flinch to death, and I win the game on the spot. But I think I take it a little too safe. I think I should have just sent it. I sent a Dark Magician and just get roared, so 50% of my damage. Matt made a great play there, but I should have just attempted to Rock Slide him. But actually, the Dark Magician Girl now having the Bataya Berry boost puts Vaporeon pretty low. He has to hit Surf. And, like, that also maybe should have been a Salamence send-in. Like, just let it rip. But unfortunately, I make a T-Bolt play there and I lose out on it. So, with all my dudes being parried, never forget, guys, we are all Haxmons. Nobody in this season can say they've been hacked because they all do it. Week 1, we found out that you can Thunder Wave through Volt Absorb, and it was all over. Ludicolo dealt a ton of damage to Raikou there. Again, should have been a Leech Seed if it wasn't already. And there he wins the game on the spot. I get paralyzed again. My para luck was probably below average, but if it was being completely honest, I think I lost this game by not attempting to hacks my way through Vaporeon. Like, a little too safe for a team that has 3 layers of spikes down. I think, like, considering how many spikes were down, I should have tried to just rip it there. So we see the Thunderbolt come in, and it actually does kill Karibo. And we send in Salamence, who's actually an okay check to this, to break the sub at least. But not good enough to win the game, sadly, so... We move on to game 2. I know that the writing's on the wall there. Everyone's too low. Everyone's paralyzed, you know. I don't want to play that out. We'll go to game 2. So, like, lessons learned from that is probably don't let Mets cook. Let him cook. He's up there for a reason. But now I realize that I need my Jirachi to just stop Regice, because while we will trade paralysis, I can't, like... Matt tried to read me there on turn 1 to Ice Beam Steelix, but, like, you know, I need to not care about being paralyzed. I know it's going to suck. It was certainly not good game 1, but I need to break this Regice down so I can sweep later. Unfortunately, I do care a little bit about when I miss my turns like that. Because as you can see here, I'm just getting a lot of unfortunate 25% here, letting the spikes get up a little earlier than I would have liked. But I can't complain. I'm running Para Spam Jirachi, you know? Like, it's going to be... If it happens to me, it happens to me. And Matt makes a good roar call here. But I actually really like who got sent in on this turn, because I really have a nice surf damage here. And the crit was humongous damage. And I actually set up Rain Dance here, calling in Vaporeon Switch. But honestly, probably should just HP Grass to begin with, because I'm not going to really abuse these rain turns too much. And he actually stays in, which is pretty funny. But he also thought I'd switch and hit Ice Beam, so instead of just hitting Surf, so it's kind of cool. I'm hoping he brings me down to Pataya range. He's just looking to stall out the rain turns a Wish. And once again, I give him HP. I'm not sure why I Rain Danced again, or I Surfed again there. That shouldn't have been a Surf. That should have been HP Grass. And then I set the Rain and get the guy I need in, so kind of not my best play there. I'm going to be honest, that was kind of bad. But I stole the Pataya Berry for later. Vaporeon seeded. Don't like seeing Steelix in here, but Matt goes in, and I go back to Ludicolo, which is really, really good right here. Should get a Leech Seed off. I do. Because if you call mines or pivots to Vaporeon, it's not, you know, it's good. So we surf this Paintless Chips, who drops a T-Bolt and doesn't do any damage to me. Yay! You'll notice that Ludicolo doesn't have a grass move, so that's why I need Gorbis alive. I need Perish Songs, which is, like, cool. Alright, do I T-Bolt or Wish here? Let's find out. I Wish, okay. Playing it really safe with that Wish. And then he stays in. But do I get the Body Slam Para? Let's find out. Oh, I don't get... No! I think that Body Slam Para would have actually been huge. And I'm forced to switch, because he knows... I don't know why I went Steelix, and we really could have just gone Salamence. I shouldn't have cared about the Toxic. That's okay. He can't two-shot me, and I know I can do this. So, do that. Do I get the HP Flying Kill? I do. Mischievous is probably the least important on this match, though, so just a mental bonus. Like, yay, I got Mischievous off the field. Once again, we see more Wish passing. Any roars? I set the Rain on the roar here, because, again, he can't touch me. Unfortunately, I get the wrong guy in, so gotta accept that. Karibo here, looking pretty good. But Matt goes to Flagon, and I T-Wave and miss. Kind of a common theme among everyone that played Matt was that they try to T-Wave something, and Flagon just takes it. A little sad for a lot of us. But I'm actually just going to start spamming Seismic Toss, because I realize time to play Karibo like he was supposed to be played, and let him die. Let him just chip away at this Flagon. You know, the Rock Slide, once the Rock Slide resists are gone, Salamence might be able to go crazy. So, like, we're going to Seismic Toss Scarm, too, while we're at it. Like, here, you get tossed, you get tossed. And he's either going to protect or spike this turn. I don't remember what he does. Spikes, so I softball. I'm a coward. Called out to protect and miss called out to protect. Coward. So I got to switch out because he can protect here, right? And at least I get that read right. And I get the Pataya Berry boost now, which is really cool. So he actually sacks his Regice here instead of just going straight to Vaporeon, which is, like, I guess, the middle ground. And but gets to revenge kill it with Raikou. Now we see Salamence come in and actually force Skarmory here. And I DD on the switch because I'm balling. And I just need one Rock Slide flinch to make this sweep win, I think, at this point. And do I get it? I don't get it. That's okay. Actually, the Vaporeon is still pretty healthy, so you need a Vaporeon down a bit. Matt gets his best switch in again, which is this Steelix, which is really, really stinks for me. But I get Defense Drop, and that's always nice. And we actually get the crit Iron Tail there, which is kind of funny, because I'm not even sure that crit mattered due to the Defense Drop, but it probably still did. But it lets him get Momentum Switch, which is cool. You know, he gets to switch in that. Surf kills my Steelix. So now my best Raikou check is gone. Oh, yeah, I forgot this was the invalid choice game. Oh, yeah, that was really bad. Some of these plays that we're seeing here are because the game just picked the move, which is really, really, really sad. Because, Steelix wasn't going to do anything for me anyways, but I needed a reason to John about it. And honestly, probably could have been useful for Raikou. And then here's where the game ends, because I send in Salamence to take the Rock Slide. Like, I know it's coming. But I'm like, I'll drop the Intimidate and I'll get the chance to like DD after 2. But no, the crit through with the Leech Seed, and he just wins. So really, really good luck right there from Matt. He got really lucky on that end game. But I will say this, I think Raikou sweeps anyways because Jirachi's paralyzed. So like I would have needed to hit every single body slam and not get paralyzed. So there was like probably a good 75-25 chance of Matt winning that game just due to that. But if Mentz got the sweep up, like whole different game, right? Mentz gets a sweep up and then Ludicolo in the rain. Like there's work here. So got crit through Intimidate. Stinks. It is what it is. But we don't need to watch the rest of this. We'll obviously put it on fast and keep going because the set is just waiting for Raikou to come in and click Thunderbolt at this point. And Matt is just stalling out the rain to do that. And it doesn't matter if I switch out or stay in at this point. I actually go for the Leech Seed correctly on the turn and miss it. So a little insult to injury there is I would have had a Leech Seed there. But that's okay. It's not, but it's okay. So Ludicolo's down. We have Raikou versus Jirachi. I'm pretty sure he doesn't even need to sub here, but he goes for it. You know, he's fishing for the para. I still have my lefty, so he might need to rip off a Thunderbolt. Yeah, he should just be ripping off Thunderbolts at this point. I do get the para, which is nice, but again, he's faster. So the only way I win this is if I get a Wish or a Body Slam here, but we both get parried, so nothing happened. And then he hits through his, and that's the set. So Matt now sitting in Grand Finals. Pretty freely, honestly. The only guy that even like scratched him was Will, and Will's not even in brackets, so it's got to come down to me or Corey. And we got to do this really long game again, guys, where it really comes down to does Dugtrio beats Jirachi? And the answer is no. But if the answer is yes, and he doesn't get paralyzed through Body Slam, then Corey pretty much wins on the spot because we're still going through the invalid choice at this point, so that's unfortunate. The whole finals was scuffed this last 3 games. I know Corey had it happen to him too at times versus Matt, if I recall. Spoiler alert. Pretend you don't know that. But we got a Dark Magician in, and we hit the Leech Seed on Tim. And Tim can't Baton Pass because he'll pass the Leech Seed. So it's kind of funny. It's a nice reason to keep this Dark Magician alive, right? And he's changed up his game plan from last time we played. We played these sets, not on the same day because there were so many of them. So right now he's actually freeze fishing. He's fishing for that 10% freeze as a legitimate tactic for getting rid of this Ludicolo. And I know that, but I have no better answer but to stay in right now and stall out his wishes because I'm also now freeze fishing and I get mine first. But he thaws immediately and then gets his, I believe. Oh, not yet. So it is kind of stupid that right now our only answers to ourselves are just to hacks each other like this. This is why Corey and I had the best and the worst set in this playoffs, is because we knew our game plans were stupid, and yet we had no other choice but to do them. So thank you, Vaporeon. Maybe somebody should have ran. Maybe Taunt should have been real this gen. Just saying. Go for HP Grass. Don't get any damage off it. But Dark Magician Girl up against Hariyama is not the best, so we're going to switch in Salamence here. Which is cool because we got the Intimidate off on the Whirlwind. And now he's locked into it! Yay! Encore did something! So no matter what happens here, I should have a pretty free Leech Seed. He could go to Celebi, right? But he doesn't want to get Ice Beamed, and he doesn't actually... I don't think he wins the 1v1. Too much damage potential there. So once again, 17 turns in, and we have done nothing but watch Vaporeon do Wish and Ice Beam. So yeah. My play around this probably should have been just go Jirachi. But obviously when you face a Dugtrio team, you don't want to send in your dude to do that 60-40. You want to try and at least break the team down before you have to do it, right? Because the Surf in the Rain into a Dugtrio Baton Pass just loses me in the game on the spot. Like, I have to keep my HP above, 80%. It's like, well, he could get all 3 layers of spikes down. It's not really going to matter. And again, nice Surf on a Whirlwind here. So, Hariyama would naturally be in a bad spot, but sadly... and he actually stayed in, so let me Encore him. Missed the cross chop, unfortunately for him. But he keeps getting Clefable on Hariyama, which is pretty good for him. But finally, Ludicolo comes in, and I have to debate here whether or not I want to set up the raid. I just go for Leech Seed, and if I don't get crit, I'm okay. And I definitely am fine because I did not get crit. And that huge HP stat's coming right back to me. And I serve Vaporeon back up to full, which is fine. Like, you know, didn't really matter what I hit there. Then he actually makes a good switch into Celebi, and I got to keep an eye on my Leech Seed PP at the moment. But notice it's not a two-shot, so now my Rain Dance Ice Beams are going to go kind of crazy. And I get the first one and realize it's not a two-shot, or at least it's a range. So, but not after lefties. And he actually switches, which is crazy. I thought he would have just tried to kill me there. Because now he's letting me heal again? Oh, he got the Ice Beam damage. That was a high roll. That was a really high roll. Ah, that's unfortunate for me. Ludicolo keeps going down in all the worst possible ways. It's not really like misplays so much. It's just big damage. It's like unlucky. But with Ludicolo down, his team can start functioning more. Turn 35, the first Pokemon dies kind of deal, you know? Real Gen 2 moment. And we do get Earthquake here. And he stays in. Cross chops me. Does a lot of damage. And I Iron Tail like a boss here, expecting, I don't know, Celebi maybe. But I hit it anyways, which is fun to watch. I think I called myself out on that. I said, hey, Corey, I'm going to hit this Iron Tail, and I do. Good that I actually did it. But Krivo's here. Krivo's a really good second wall. This thing can hang with both Celebi and... well, not this Celebi, sadly. It was, you know, Leech Seed was a little rough for it. But it could hang with the Calm Mind Celebi pretty easily, and also hang out with Doug Trio. Had just enough bulk to be able to handle Doug Trio. As long as he didn't get crit, which, you know, it'll eventually happen, but hey. Sadly, Blue Eyes White Dragon came in to take a Psychic and 850 from it. But I had to do something, right? I had to scare that Celebi back out. And now that Jirachi's finally hitting the field again on turn 44, we're going to see this. So we see Jirachi getting pretty low. Obviously, he doesn't want to just send in Doug Trio to a Body Slam, so he's looking for a way to safely get it. I missed two 60% paras of Body Slam, which is really, really, really rough for me this game. For Vaporeon specifically, obviously Celebi, it's not that big of a deal. It's just nice to have. But I do get my Ments back to full. We'll take it. And then I go right back to Jirachi here because I actually am trying to scare out. Yeah, I'm trying to get the Vaporeon switch here. If he went Doug Trio here, though, like, I just lost. Third time Baton Pass fails. Or, sorry, the Body Slam fails. So here I have to protect, right? And I think I actually have to double protect to get enough leftovers recovery, which I do, which is really lucky. It's a 50%, you know, 50-50. Now I got to fish for the Body Slam again. So I've missed every single one, but he actually gets the super high range Earthquake and just gets me, so it doesn't matter. And then I don't know why I sent in Steelix. I think I kill him with Earthquake. Thank God. All right. So he just wanted to take out Steelix, which I guess makes sense. But now with my Wish Core compromised, the game's over. Nothing can stop Celebi anymore. Well, I say Celebi, I mean Vaporeon. So I have nothing to stop Vaporeon with the loss of Jirachi there. My ability to pass HP back and forth between like Ments and Gorbis is now over. So as soon as Ments goes down, I think there's no reason to play this game out. But we'll try our best. Vaporeon comes in and he eats an HP flying. It is funny that I've never crit this Vaporeon. I know crits aren't super likely, but we've hit it so many times. But now that the trio's down, Clefable is actually in a pretty good spot to just spam T-Wave here. I can soft load up if I need to. And Dark Magician Girl has HP Grass, so Corey decides to play it safe, goes for spikes. Kind of a really late game spike, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And hits the Thunder, was better than me, stayed in, hit Thunder, and actually got it, which is really good. Because if he didn't, he gets Ice Beamed, and now all of a sudden I hit HP Grass and Ice Beam over and over again. I might win that, but with actually hitting the Thunder, it's pretty over. But we have a good DD chance here against Dragonite, except he gets the Thunder and the Para, and then he hits it 3 times. Like, brother, he is hacking me out of my gourd. In a good way, though. Like, there wasn't much hope for this set, so it's good that it's over quicker. And funny enough, the Sacrificial Karibo is the last one on the field here. And if this was not a Leech Seed Celebi, this might have been a game. But you guys pretty much know what's going to happen here. And the special defense drop of Psychic comes in too, so I can try to stall this out as much as I want. But I think I go to turn 69 and just let it end here. Like, we were so close. So I encore him into Psychic for fun, and he gets me on turn 70. So good job to Corey for game 1 there. He got some nice rolls. A lot of body slams. I did not realize how many times body slam missed para that game. Like a lot of 40%. But you live and die on it when you're playing that set. You gotta hope the good luck goes in your favor because it's slightly in your favor anyways, but it doesn't mean you're gonna get it. And we see Tim again stay in, and we see this Ice Beam do 29 now, so we know how much damage it can do. And he's fishing for the freeze again because he knows if he gets the freeze, it's really big. And we do see it here finally get in. And unlike most teams, he doesn't have a fire move on the scene, if I recall correctly. So it's not like he'll thaw me out accidentally. But I have to go Dark Magician here. Eat the Psychic. Get the special defense drop. Oh, no. Oh, man. Ludicolo is in for he's having a bad time. But we get Jirachi in, and we gotta do what we gotta do. So Almazar comes in. That's a pretty... Oh, we're trying to get him back to full health. Yeah, Wish is a good move, guys. You should run more Wish. Big crit on T-Bolt there. Interesting decision to go into Hariyama there. But he knew. Rollins me out, get an Intimidate drop. Hey, we're so bad, guys. I personally don't really want to get knocked off here, but I also know he doesn't want to get body slammed, so that's why he put Celebi in to take the body slam, which is nice. Corey misses a Leech Seed, which is really big. But does he Psychic this turn? Oh, if he Psychic, he got me that turn. But I get another chance to get my Ludicolo up and running. Man, sometimes I wish I had Tentacruel just to run Liquid Ooze. Liquid Ooze and Durslax Surf shenanigans. Ludicolo's here now, back again. Has a chance. I'm still not wasting the chance to try and unfreeze him. I don't want him to get taken in by Dugtrio. Probably is the real reason. But I do need him for later. So eventually he's gonna have to come out and do something. And Corey doesn't have to send in Dugtrio to get this guy immediately. He can do other things. Like he doesn't want to take the 20% chance and just die. And I'm a little crazy here. I actually straight up go into a very obvious, potentially obvious Ice Beam with Salamence, and he doesn't do it. But now Dark Magician Girl is here to hit big Ice Beams, because these Ice Beams are doing a lot more than Ludicolo's. And he puts me just outside Pataya range. But I am fast, so we Ice Beam again. Do we HP Grass this turn? We do make a great read there, and a huge crit to make the read. Like, he lost his Wish Pass, so that's crazy. And then a big Surf there, takes out Hariyama. So I'm looking great, except my rain does run out this turn, so I kind of need to pivot out, right? And he tries to call in, I guess, Ludicolo or something, goes for a Psychic. And he Leech Seeds. And Corey having clicks thing that having some issues with clicking with Yama too, so it's tough. Really tough. but his team is not done yet. Does still have Dugtrio, and I'm just staying in hitting Body Slam even though I'm Leech Seeded because I need to make sure I catch it on the switch in. Plus I'm getting the Wish, so if I catch the Body Slam there, I can win. But right now I just go into HP. Yeah, he's hitting HP Fire. I guess looking for a Jirachi call out there. Switches out because he knows that I can Encore him, but which I attempt to do obviously. And now I have a really safe T-Wave if I can get it off. Corey has hit every Thunder this set. Kind of awesome. Shoutouts Thunder on Dragonite in Gen 3. Really cool move. He hits 5! Does he get the para? And he gets the para, guys. He's goobing. He is goobing. He Dragon Dances. And now he's locked into it. So, Clefable looking pretty good. But not if I stay in. I need to get out. I don't know why I stayed in that turn. But I get Dark Magician Girl in, which is nice with the Tie Berry. And I am faster because the paralysis dropped, so we get that really good Ice Beam damage. I don't know why I subbed out there, actually. I think I should have just stayed in, but that's okay. Kribo's here. Kribo's going to hit Recover. Or Soft Bullet doesn't get paralyzed, and it doesn't. So we are doing just enough to stall out the Celebi. Go for a big T-Wave. I'm not even sure that T-Wave was a good play. And here goes Omastar to attempt to do Omastar things, and I Encore again? That's kind of weird of him. I don't know what I'm doing with this Clefable, but that didn't seem like the right play. Could have been a misclick. We get paralyzed. Would have been really nice to drop a para on this thing. So I got bad luck there with Clefable, but Gorbis gets to come in and threaten an HP Grass. But I actually Surf, which is fine. The mid play, kind of seems like a waste to me now, honestly. Should have been an Ice Beam. Finally, Mence comes in, and I have a pretty decent HP flying here, but it doesn't actually kill. That's kind of huge. And Corey just lets him sack it, I guess. I mean, Omastar could have switched in pretty nicely here. But I have to leave the Frozen Dark Magician, sadly, to... Well, you know, you can actually eat one of these. But I need to, like, unfreeze, and if I don't unfreeze, that's pretty bad. So don't get it 2 turns. Do I get a 3rd turn? Nope. Yeah, I guess there's been some bad luck from me this set, honestly. Oh my god, that's terrible. Oh, everyone F's in the chat. But I sent Jirachi in, which kind of a misplay, but I go for Body Slam, and I attempt to get the Paralysis here. I don't get it. Wow, yeah, this endgame stunk. Corey was very sad, but... Oh, I go for the Body Slam here, and I also don't get it. So now I gotta Protect Stall, I think, 3 of these in a row now. And we get the 1 guaranteed, obviously, and I go for 2, and I don't get it. That being said, I also threw this game in the gutter. This was an easy win here. All I had to do was hit Earthquake twice. I hit it once. I see 52, right? So I see 53%. I go, oh, I don't know if I want to do that again. So I hit Rock Slide, but I really could have just Earthquaked again. So Corey was actually wrong. He thought I did like 60 with that. I did potentially only do 52. But to be fair, if I just hit it and got a good 53% damage roll, which was on the, you know, the good side of the damage roll, if I got a little bit like... If I got my 60-40 with Salamence in this case, it was probably more like a 70-30, right? But, like, man, just that endgame did not go my way with the body slams and everything. So Corey gets away with 1, but honestly, probably good. I want to, you know, we saw me versus Matt. That set did not go well. Corey's been gaming his way up through losers, having a great run. And we're going to finally see who pulls it out in the end here. I think, unfortunately, you guys can kind of see who pulled it out in the end here thanks to the tabs. But, hey, pretend you don't know. We do see a knockoff starting off with Chop Suey. It's actually the only good lead in the Regice this entire time. And then Corey forced the hit HP Ghost to even attempt to hit Skarmory. But now we see that Corey doesn't have Rock Slide on his Hariyama, which I think I found that out actually when I was playing him, which is why Mence is so safe. But Skarmory not having Toxic means that Omastar can come in here and lay up his own spikes too. So we're getting a Spike War going on. And Dragonite is really cool. Let's see if he Thunders. No, he Dragon Dances. Wow, bold. And then Flagon takes 74, but there's no way he kills him back. No, he just Toxics and moves on. One of these days, Matt will miss Toxic. Matt will miss Toxic one of these days, right, chat? Because it is only 85% in Gen 3. But not today. Dragonite gets poisoned. And also this Protect stalling out's going nice here, because Dragonite's a problem. The more you look at Dragonite, if it starts setting up too much, there's nothing that can stop it. Just because it is running the Thunder. Like, look at that. That Hidden Power, the call out on the Hidden Power did 59. He goes back to Skarmory. Does he drop the Thunder? Doesn't need. Yeah, he probably needed to, unfortunately. The Immunities train is coming through again here. And Corey DDs, and I question that one. But it's okay. You had to predict whether or not he did protect it. It was just a 50-50 at the end of the day. And Matt got all 3 of his spikes up, which means Corey should probably have gotten his 2nd spike up that turn, which he does here. Gets roared out. Nice, nice. Celebi isn't what you want to see against the specifically drill-pecking Skarm, but the ones carrying HP Fire don't care. And we see what is very likely HP Bug flag on here, and Corey just stays in and eats it. And I'm sure that crit mattered, but you can't let that happen. You've got Hariyama right there. You got You can sack your Dragonite. Like, you don't gotta let Celebi die there. You don't gotta let him take that damage. And now 2 jerks are just gonna look at each other for a little bit, so they're gonna hang out. And here's Hariyama eating 25% plus 11, but does not get frozen, so he's gaming. Yeah, wow, that Celebi sack. I didn't realize how bad that was that game. I hope that wasn't one of those misclicks, because he's actually looking pretty good if he had that Celebi still. Whirlwinds in Regice, honestly, could have been much worse. Goes for cross top and misses. No, Corey. Oh no, he got boomed on 2. Oh, it's Core over. It's Doctor over. But Flagon's a great cleanup choice here by Matt. Mainly because he forced in Vaporeon to take 25%, right? And what are you going to do? You're going to go into your own Vaporeon. In this case, Mischievous, who doesn't even take the Spikes damage, and has T-Bolt to shrug off whatever you throw at it. And honestly, I don't know if this is the play for Corey. He's passing to the Toxic Dragonite, in return letting his Vaporeon take about 50% because he's not getting his own Wish back. Plus, you know this thing has Perish Song, so might as well. Here comes some HP Flying. So we're going to let 3 of those rip now. 1 does 70. Wow, you only take 18 from that T-Ball, which is pretty cool, actually. So we're trading Dragonite for 50% of Vaporeon's health and of Misdreavious. I can't say that's worth it, chat, but you guys can tell me in the comments what you think you would have done. Anyways, we get our trio here to trap Flygon. Yep, I said that. And goes for Rock Slide, knowing that he's like not really doing anything this set. Though Trio is it's really a 5v6 versus Matt's team, but does get the flinch. And need to get about 3 more of them. And we see Omastar come in, who can take an Earthquake probably at 63. I would think he's bulky enough too, and he just is. And wow, and goes for the read and doesn't even get it. That's so, yeah, no, it's unfortunate for Corey. He had to probably hit Ice Beam there, even just to get the freeze on Vaporeon, you know? Like, that's really what you're fishing for. You're not, like, the HP electric damage isn't going to 2-shot, I don't think. But then again, I'm not the one that has the, I'm not the one who's calculating out the Omastar stuff before the set. So, like, 4 Earthquakes later, and Matt's cruising on his way to the championship final here. We'll see who comes in. We see Skarmory get dodge the crowd. Gosh, this is awful. I want to see Skarmory get hit, guys. Come on. But we're going to trade up spikes. This is a certified Gen 2 moment, even though we're playing Gen 3. And all 3 spikes up by turn 5. Like, it doesn't get better than that. Literally doesn't get better than that, guys. That's how you win your sets. You get you just out, dodge across chop, and then win. Not that it would have done a whole lot. Maybe it would have done like 40. I don't know. But now we see Drill Peck do 42 to Celebi, which is a ton of damage. Because you'll notice that Leech Seed is not recovering a lot of HP, and that is 25% on entry. There is no spin here. Like, all of Corey's walls are about to... You're about to see the bad part of Corey's team, which is there is no spinner. But knocks off Skarm's lefty, so at least the protects aren't doing a lot. And we're about to probably see a good roar here by Matt. Nope, safer Drill Peck. Safer Drill Peck. I can respect it. Eats the HP Electric, does less than a 2-hit. So see you later, buddy. And the one guy Matt doesn't want to see, which is Dragonite. Let's see if Corey DDs. No, he Thunders. I'm not sure I get the Thunder there. Like, Skarmory can't touch you. Might as well HP flying it, I guess. I don't know. But we get the thick, fat Hariyama paralyzed. A little unfortunate for Corey there. Because now he's going to miss his moves, of course. And Omastar just taking 25% every single time he comes in, which is a safe and good play. But, like, what are you going to do about it? One spike. This is the power of having 3 layers of spikes and having all the rapid spinning teams not in your conference, or not in playoffs. That's what I should say. All the teams that brought spin didn't make playoffs. But yeah, no, Hariyama gets hit again, and Corey's just kind of. I think he's tired. I think he's throwing Celebi here for some reason, just to take chip and now get hit by HP Bug. But luckily decides not to let it die here, which is a much better play from the earlier game. Matt attempting to call out a switch into Dragonite is my opinion there with the Toxic, but knows that if he catches Omastar, he can just Earthquake him anyways. So really easy 50-50s. Really nicely done. Good recognition on his part. We finally see Vaporeon hit the field. Let's see what it does. And it Ice Beams and does 7. And you can't freeze the Ice type. So no free. You're not getting out of this one with freezing him. Matt attempting to read a pivot to Celebi, probably. And Corey, unfortunately, kind of having to stay in because he knows he can't get these passes off to the rest of his team. He has 3 dudes weak to ice in the back, like massively weak to ice. So he just has to kind of sit here. But now that Corey's decided, oh, that's an unfortunate pair because that could have been a baton pass there, actually. And I think that baton pass would have been really nice for Corey, getting Celebi right back up to full health. And now we see both Perish Songs on both setup sleepers, which is really fun to see. We'll see if Dragonite does he get parried, and he does. Oh! Oh my God! It's just not Corey's season, guys. He'll win one of these days, but it's not going to be this one. With that paralysis and then the paralyze here. Wow, this final set is absolutely gross. So he stacks his Dragonite here. He kind of had to. He was paralyzed. That was like the one status he couldn't afford to be. And now Matt's Vaporeon is actually in a fantastic position here. He's not going to do anything back, but they can sit here and look at each other if they really want. But it does get Celebi in for free, so maybe it should have been Regice. Maybe it should have been Flygon. I don't know. Giga Drain's, wow, does a lot more gear drain than I expected. And Matt looking to pull in Dugtrio for sure. I mean, this is just as good option, right? With Regice in the back here. Gets paralyzed. Yeah, that's what you get. That's what you get for running Paraspam teams. Except I don't think Corey has Paraspam. I think he just had Thunder on Dragonite that paralyzed things. That's funny. But Regice claims another soul, and it's up to Celebi to take on matchups that it just can't do. Watch this Ice Beam do about 80%. Probably better off just throwing Giga Drains at this point. Ghost for HP Fire is 21. So that is the game, because there is nothing that Dugtrio can lock into that wins this set anymore. Raikou didn't even need to hit the field. It was that easy. Shoutouts to Rock Slide, though. Matt lets Regice go down, says, you've done your job, dude. Lets Raikou clean up against Corey, which is honestly, I don't know if it's mean or funny, but the fact that it missed Rock Slide is pretty cool. It's not cool. It's almost ironic, I should say. And we see Raikou winning the day yet again. Classic SAPA fashion. And we see Matt clean sweeping through this winner's bracket. Really, congratulations to him. He was awesome. I hate this team, though. There was like 2 guys that could play into it, and they could not get to him in bracket. But, yeah, the power of a really good Gen 3 core. Skarmory showing its worth, and the power of just Levitate in general. You know, he wasn't worried about spikes, and nobody bringing a spinner. Kind of big, so... I think if there was teams that could deal with it, it was like Corey could deal with it, but not with the team he brought. I could deal with it, but not with the team I brought. And I think Will or Drew could have dealt with it. And you saw Will actually get the only win off of Matt this game, but he got very lucky doing it. But it was still a win, you know, a win's a win. And Drew, on the other hand, I don't know if he had enough defense to hang with this team, but he certainly had the offense to fight back. So it would have been fun to see that matchup.
All right, well, if you've gotten this far, please comment "Thank you, Dr. B" in the comments below. So, I won. You know, there's a famous quote from an old animation from Matty Burrito, his Pokemon Golder series, where Lance says, "You don't get to be the champion of the Pokemon League without knowing how to use full restores. You don't win without having a little bit of good luck as well." So just kind of looking at the results of bracket here. Obviously I won, went 4-0, definitely had some luck go my way. Definitely had, you know, it happens, and you know, to everybody, you know, you have good luck, you got bad luck, these things happen. I want to give a shout out to Corey for having one hell of a season, getting second place. I definitely got pretty lucky in our set in grand finals. But nevertheless, he played well. Shout out to Brian in third place. Undefeated season, just couldn't get it done. Again, some bad luck and honestly some pretty difficult matchups for him. Then going down to fourth place, JT going 3-2. He needed a tough start to bracket, but you know, Aerodactyl can do a lot, and you know, having a solid team overall. JT had a good season, good performance, tough end. Sometimes you just can't get past one opponent and you run into them twice, and that's that. Also, I want to shout out Hall and Will, tied for 5th. I beat Will, knocked him into losers. Definitely got very lucky in that one as well. But he also got very lucky against me, so it kind of evens out. Still, Will had a heck of a season, good bounce back. He'd definitely been struggling the past few formats, but it's good to see him kind of up and at him with Aerodactyl, Zapdos, you know, big birds, big damage, and all that. And of course, Hall and his team of misfits that he always seems to put together great performances. Can never count out the Dugtrios. And then coming down the list, we got Chris, the International Justice League of Super Acquaintances, pseudo champs. That's Atomic, tied for 7th, both winning their first round and then getting knocked out in losers. And then, of course, what a shout out, Adam and Bannon down in 9th place, making playoffs. You know, Bannon especially in his first season, and special shout out to Adam, who basically started the season 1-7, something like that, and then ended up going 500 on a crazy win streak. So, you know, shout outs to him. But I would like to talk about my team that ended up winning it all. So start with Regice. All right, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Explosion, Thunder Wave. I picked up Regice for my team because, one, I saw how good it was for Adam when he traded for it mid-season. It's just a really good defensive piece, especially against Zapdos, which I knew I was going to run into at some point. And with this EV spread I have, I maximized all my bulk as much as I can, maxed out special attack for big damage with bolt beam coverage. And then in the speed, I put 32 speed EVs in, which is to outspeed the standard Hariyama set. As you know, Hariyama is definitely a lead. I had a feeling I would go up against between Corey and JT both having it. But overall, Regice added a really nice layer to my team, and definitely was a big player in the playoffs. So gotta love the big iceberg. You know, he was really doing a lot. Then got Skarmory, all reliable. There is nothing crazy about his spread. You know, we got Spikes for Protect given standards. I tossed on Drill Peck because I figured, you know, going into playoffs, you don't want to have a Pokemon that like is kind of stuck, not being able to do any damage in a late game situation. So I valued Drill Peck over Toxic because I felt pretty good in my Zapdos matchup between Flygon and Regice, and Raikou as well, that I could, you know, stave it off and get by without toxicing it. I put an extra speed EV in there just to win speed creep wars. That was pretty much it. Not much to talk about with Skarmory. I mean, I picked him first overall for a reason, and he showed why he is the second best Pokemon in ADV. And now I want to talk about Flygon, who honestly I don't think I would have been where I was this playoffs without it. It was very good. Earthquake, Rock Slide, HP Bug for Celebi, Toxic. Very straightforward moveset. Max attack, max speed. Again, none of these EV spreads are really all that out there. You know, just keeping everything consistent. Flygon gave me that rock resist I needed, especially going into Aerodactyl. And then also giving me a really valuable speed tier to revenge kill a lot of things, to do big damage. And also crit Rock Slide when I needed him to. So that was huge. But honestly, in my opinion, I think Flygon was the best Pokemon I had on my playoff run. I truly could not have one without it. I mean, I could say that about all my Pokemon here, but Flygon was really the one that brought everything together, which is funny because I am a known Flygon hater as a big Salamence enjoyer. You know, so I see the other side. I will appreciate Flygon, but Mensa's still cooler in every way. Here's Raikou, Sub Calm Mind, T-Bolt. Went with HP Grass because there was a Swampert running around. I figured a lot of the electric type users would have to play that battle too, knowing that there's a Swampert. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to go with HP Grass, and I'm going to hope everybody else does. That way Flygon ends up a little better. Obviously, Will went with HP Ice against me, which makes sense. Bracket was looking that way. You know, can't knock that at all. But yeah, I mean, Raikou does Raikou things. Obviously, he does nothing against the Dugtrio teams, which, you know, round one, going up against Hall, you know, Raikou didn't really do what he needed to do, but Regice kind of carried that one. And then going up against Corey, whose favorite Pokemon is Raikou, he kind of shut it down pretty hard just having Dug around. So we got Tim the Vaporeon, just a standard defensive set. I didn't really want to complicate things. Surf, Ice Beam, just good coverage. Wish, Roar. Wish just for healing, you know, bring my guys back up, especially Flygon. You know, just kind of play a bit of a longer game if necessary. And then I ended up going with Roar just to stop the setup sweepers, which are definitely a problem for my team. And just to pick up Spike's chip damage, which kind of was my whole game plan the entire season. So no need to go against all that. And then finally, here is Misdreavus. So I just went to kind of maximize on bulk. The exact spread I actually forget, is I'd have to go back in my docs somewhere. But put a little bit of speed. This is mostly just for speed creeping purposes. And then I just put the rest in bulk. So I went with a Calm Mindset just to give me another way of having a win condition especially against like the Doug Trio teams. Like T-Bolt Psychic does really well into everything that's not Steelix. And then Perish Song kind of gives me that secondary, hey, hold on, this is getting out of hand. You know, let's Perish Song, you know, and then let Misdreavus go down, and then, you know, use Protect, you know, and things like that, and get out of these kinds of situations that are scary. But Misdreavus, it did what it needed to do. Not bad for baby Fluttermane. But again, I will appreciate what Misdreavus did for me the entire season. It was quite good. So nothing too crazy with this team. I mean, it good synergy, worked well together, and of course, you know, I got lucky when I needed to, and you know that's how you get it done. So I want to go over our season awards. First off, I'm gonna give the season MVP to Aerodactyl. I think if you're gonna try to tell the story of our draft league this season, Aerodactyl, in the way it kind of dominated a lot of matchups, it truly was the MVP. I don't think JT and Will would have had the seasons they had without this guy. And I mean, you know, with the power of Rock Slide, you can just Rock Slide flinch your way through really bad situations. Again, Aerodactyl, he was great. I got to give an honorable mention to Zapdos, who was also up here for discussion. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know what Zapdos is going to do. It's third, fourth best Pokemon in the tier, depending on who you ask. You know, you expect it to go out and be the best. You know, an Aerodactyl, you know it's really good. But the way this thing kind of dominated the format, especially, you know, having other teams with speed tiers that are nowhere near you, you know, you can run Adamant effectively. You know, you could do other things. So, yeah. Aero's the MVP this season, in my opinion. And then second place, I'm actually going to give it to Vaporeon. Not just because I had it on my team and it was very good all season. Definitely my team's MVP. It had really good placements throughout the season, similar to Aero, between me and Corey, both having it and doing very well. Held first and second place overall. I mean, you can't really look past that either. But given that Vaporeon was a borderline slot, so it's less of a commitment than Aerodactyl, definitely want to give it a little nod up there. It's just a good Pokemon. It did really well this season. Honestly, IMO probably the second best bulky water that we had in the format, strictly based off of like value. I think we didn't see exactly what Suicune could do this season, given that, you know, didn't quite fit on David's team too well, and Ernest kind of had to rely on Suicune to do everything, so it didn't quite shine the way it's supposed to. But Vaporeon kind of did what it needed to do, so definitely a good showing from 4chan's favorite Pokemon. And talking about LVP, honestly, I'm going to give it to Umbreon. I actually helped Tim build a lot, and every time it was like, oh, this is Umbreon's week. It never was. It never really did anything, and honestly felt more like a detriment to Tim's team, because I think had potential, but was kind of held back by, honestly, this guy, because he didn't quite do anything. You know, obviously there's other Pokemon we could put in here, like Cloyster didn't do anything, Claydol didn't do anything, Breloom I think came like 3 times, but like they were dropped for a reason. Umbreon kind of remained and never amounted to anything. And honestly, going through the rosters and the replays and everything, Umbreon was truly the one that stuck out as like, he's just a guy, you know. He doesn't really do anything. So LVP for Umbreon. Sorry, Umbreon fans. This was not his format. And I want to talk about our coolest tech award. I got to give this one to Brian when we played our set, and he brought Skill Swap Calm Mind. If you remember all the way back to our set that we played almost 6 months ago at this point. Skill Swap kind of just shut down my team. Whether I bring in Flygon, he skill swaps Levitate, and then he beats me. Skill swaps Flash Fire from Flareon, beats me one-on-one, and then sweeps the whole rest of the team. It was really creative and really threw me off guard, and it absolutely kicked my ass. And it was one of the coolest little techs I've seen, especially in this format, because a lot of times there's not too many things you can do. You know, there's obviously like, you know, tech moves. You scroll down, you'll find some things, but like you don't really see skill swap ever. So it was cool to see it be used so effectively and dominate a set, especially one that was against the top 2 undefeated teams at the time. So like I talked about before, I thought Flygon was my MVP of playoffs. Again, I kind of talked about it before, but again, Flygon, he was great, and I'll always appreciate that, even though Mence is better, like I said. And finally, we have the Patrick Hall Nickname Award. This one goes to none other but Beatmon Butt, the Hitmonchan. Just a funny name. I mean, you gotta love Beatmon Butt. I mean, what else is there to say? You know, it's all laid out for you right there. So, overall, just to kind of wrap up this season, I appreciate you all for listening to us talk about a metagame that we didn't really know too well, and yet, you know, kind of draft from it and, you know, learn along the way and appreciate, you know, the metagame as a whole. And, you know, looking back, we played 17 weeks of this, and that was obviously way too long. And I think by the end, we're kind of like, all right, you know, kind of done with ADV at this point. So, you know, that's probably part of why this took so long to come out, is, you know, you just kind of get burned out from playing the same thing, you know, with the same guys every time, week in, week out. So, yeah. If you're looking to draft in advance, I highly recommend looking into using like a point system. We're using that right now in our current season, and I quite like it. I think the point system adds a lot, because you're going to find that like some of the low tier Pokemon, like let's take Vaporeon, right? Like Vaporeon offered more to my team than like a lot of other water types did. And I got this for a lower commitment than like an OU Pokemon. That way you can build a better team. And, you know, that is draft as a whole. You know, you find the gems and, you know, you work from there. So, you know, just keep that in mind. If you are looking to draft the format, maybe you copy our way of doing it, you know, but either way, definitely tier appropriately and look at some of those low tier Pokemon that are actually viable in OU, and, you know, rank them accordingly. Not just be like, oh, they're in this tier, like, yeah, sure, whatever. Because like Vaporeon and Umbreon should not be in the exact same tier and worth the same amount of points. So we did 2 drafts, one for each conference due to the size of our league this season. Which, you know, definitely created some funny situations where usually you think, oh, draft, it's like, all right, there's one Tyranitar, but we had 2. There's 2 of everything potentially. You know, had its ups, had its downs. Overall, I think it worked for what we were trying to accomplish. So will we do that again? Probably not. But, you know, it was definitely a different way of doing it, you know, more unique and in that regard. So that's pretty much all I have to say about Gen 3 Draft. Again, I appreciate everybody for tuning in and listening to us talk about our season. And of course, we're currently in the middle of our Scarlet Violet format right now. So keep listening for that. We'll have our episode out in probably the day after this goes live. We'll get that episode out, and we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming. So take care, have a good, and we'll see you next time. Peace out, fellas and fellas.